You can stay and fight, engage in local races, work to change things. Or you can vote with your feet. At leavingil.com, we help you build a smart exit plan so you know where to go, when to go, and how to do it right. Take our quick exit readiness assessment. Go to leavingil.com. That's leavingil.com. Or call 224-800-6979.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
AM 560, The Answer.
Prepare to have your mind opened. The lies of the mainstream media are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony.
I'm coming in hot. Coming in hot, just like the fajita. I write what I live, my life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
Welcome to this week's edition of Black and Right Radio on AM 560 Chicago, 92.7 FM and AM 1400 Detroit, Michigan. You guys know what this weekend is, right? The day they tell us that we have to celebrate fathers. You know, if anybody really knows me, they know I really don't like these days that they create, because I really do think they bring so much division. You know, the sweetest days, the Valentine's days, the Father's Day. I'm a father every day, and that's how I've always looked at it. And you know, for me, Father's Days have become they're a little bittersweet. I'm really happy and excited and glad that I have my 5 daughters, but you know, I probably shouldn't say but, because I just canceled out everything I just said, right? As you guys know, I lost my 18-year-old son to suicide. So anytime I think about these type of days, it really, it's tough sometimes. It really is tough. And Father's Day is supposed to be that joyous day. And I do. Listen, man, I love my girls, Jada, Kirsten, Kylie, Karis, and Jariah. I forget sometimes their names, sometimes Paul. I got so many kids. But this Father's Day is something, you know, and I think about this Carmelo Anthony case, which we'll get into later. 2 fathers are now without their kids. One's in jail and one's no longer here with us. You know, no matter, you know, we know the circumstances of what happened, but these guys are still 2 fathers. Well, according to Charleston White, one of them's not, but that's neither here nor there. Charleston White is just trying to sell T-shirts. But Father's Day is for me, it's very important. It really is. I mean, when you think about it, think about this, guy. When you think about our civilization, it doesn't collapse because it runs out of money. When you look at history, what does history suggest about how civilizations collapse? When they stop producing men willing to carry burdens they did not create. We are living through a strange moment. I didn't close the door, Paul. Paul, can you come close the door? I forgot to close the door. I hear you. I hear you're cutting those clips. I mean, when you look about, think about it. Nearly everybody agrees boys are struggling. Men are struggling right now. A lot of these young men, they're behind in school. They're lonely. They have all these suicidal ideations. They're just anxious, guys. Marriage rates, they're falling. And with all of this combined, this combustion that's coming, men are truly withdrawing from our society. Because they're told, when you look at movies, you see, and I was talking to my daughter about this. Me and her had a really good conversation about this. How when you see how men are portrayed as weaklings in movies, you know, it's always the woman coming through who's strong and who carries the day, whereas the men, you know, they're the first to be taken out in some of these movies. I mean, that gets to me, you know, because one of the things that we're doing to me, and we're tearing down our heroes. We're questioning fatherhood, and we treat masculinity itself as is something to to be managed instead of developed. You know, this whole toxic masculinity. But maybe these things are connected. I have a guest on the line, Frank Miniter. He argues that boys need examples, fathers, and stories bigger than themselves. Frank is an investigative journalist, author, and cultural commentator whose work has appeared in Forbes, Fox News, PJ Media, and Outdoor Life. His newest book, Cool Heroes for Boys, comes at a moment when many parents wonder why boys are struggling and why so much of what previous generations considered honorable manhood is now viewed with suspicion. He's recently wrote 2 essays for Fox News and PJ Media. We're going to get into that. Frank argues that the attacks on fathers and the attacks on heroes are connected because both are ultimately attacks on the idea that men have a unique responsibility to shape civilization. Frank, welcome to Black and White Radio.
Hey, thanks for having me here.
Yeah, I really do appreciate it. I've read some of the articles, and I can't wait to go out and get this book. I'm definitely going to order it. But Frank, when you think, are we producing men or consumers? Because when you think about previous generations, they expected boys to grow into men who would eventually shoulder responsibility. Today, it almost feels as though society's highest goal is comfort and self-expression. At what point did we stop preparing boys for duty and start preparing them for consumption?
Right. It's been a generational attack. It didn't just happen in the last decade. It's not just because of smartphones. There's a lot of reasons for it. But it's been going on a very long time. But when we tear down their ideals to such an extent where they don't have ideals, they don't have anyone to look up to, and a lot of them have fatherless homes. They don't even have the father there. So they're looking around, and they're looking at even their textbooks at school, and most of their teachers will be female. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but they're not getting that male perspective. They look in their textbooks, and even they see the few heroes that are left in there are watered down, simplified, cartoonish. It isn't honest.
Yeah.
And it's that honest, real discussion and investigation that leads you to those internal changes and to that growth.
You know, Frank, we hear constantly about this toxic masculinity. But I rarely hear anyone discussing this toxic passivity. Is passivity among men becoming more dangerous than aggression?
You know, they're afraid to speak out a lot because they're shut down by the media a lot. I mean, not certain parts of it, not here, obviously, but certain parts of it, they really still can talk, but for the most part, they're being shut down. Because the creation of the manosphere is a reaction to that. And there's not that the manosphere is all bad. There's some really good elements to it, but there are some real childish and bad elements in the manosphere right now that need to be checked, need to be brought back to a sense of an honorable gentleman that we really want our kids to grow up to. But it's hard without the role models. You know, that's why I wrote about 20 of them in this book.
You know, you write about heroes. Heroes are imperfect. I think about the Bible that I read. I mean, I see a lot of imperfection in a lot of the people that God used. George Washington, he owned slaves. Roosevelt had flaws. Patton had flaws. Frank, is there a danger in teaching young people that flaws disqualify greatness?
Yeah, it destroys the whole ideal. It destroys the discussion, and it becomes very one-sided. I mean, that's where woke comes from. It's this massive thought control. I think it just narrows you down, and you can't question it. The question that you're outside the orthodoxy, and you're canceled. That takes away the whole honest discussion that needs to take place philosophically. You know, being a real man, being a gentleman, is a deep philosophy.
Yeah.
And how can you explore the philosophy if you're not allowed to explore the philosophy?
Ooh, that's powerful. That'll preach, as my my wife would say. But you know, when you look at fatherhood and civilization, history shows that strong societies are built around fathers transferring wisdom to sons. What happens when that transfer mechanism breaks?
Yeah, I have a son, and I wrote this book in good part for him. And we traveled to a lot of the places to go through the history of the people that I write about as much as we could in this book. But going through that with him, and then, you know, of course, I'm married, and my wife is a strong partner to the whole thing. But seeing our different roles as we grow him up and teach him, you know, my wife is more on the emotional side, helping him. I think it's very typical of a strong woman that she is. And whereas I walk in and I check and go, no, he skinned his knee or this happened. No, we're going to go out. We're going to go do this adventure. Last weekend we went out and did a canoe adventure, camped on an island. He didn't even this time tell me, be careful, because she knew I would, but she also knew that I was going to push him, that you got to have this adventure. I made him paddle the whole way. made him help me start the fire. He wasn't scared at night because we've done it before. Like this grow-up moments that you have to give them with the adventure.
Yeah, I got a friend who used to do this show with me. He takes umbrage with Larry Elder and his fatherhood statistics. I can't talk today. Statistics, right? Now, why is it that almost every conversation that's centered around fathers and fatherlessness, it immediately turns into economics? But why is it that so few people talk about identity, affirmation, discipline, and belonging?
Well, they're harder, and they take a little while to get into. And you're not going to get as many in sound bites. It takes a longer discussion like we're having here to start to step into that stuff. And you're in this instant gratification generation with what we're going through, video games, TV, and everything else. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard to have those deeper discussions that take people someplace.
Oh, my goodness. I completely was into this conversation. I didn't even look at the time. Frank, and I said your last name right, Miniter?
That's it.
Okay, Frank, we got to go to break. We're talking to Frank Miniter. Guys, go out and get his book. I'm sure it's out on Amazon. Cool Heroes for Boys. More from Frank when we get back.
I don't need a subpoena. They want my soul, better go to Korea. I love my dog just like I'm Peter.
Mike Gallagher believes the left is extremely upset.
They're angry. They're bitter. They're disconnected from reality. We got USA chants at the White House, jets roaring overhead, and the left is just raging, while the rest of us are just happy at the way things are going. The message is clear. They don't love America because America loves Trump.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9 on AM 560, The Answer.
Hi, I'm Ken Mariotti, owner of Woodland Windows and Doors, a third-generation family-owned business since 1969. We know you're bombarded by choices when shopping for new windows or doors, so we're inviting you to experience the Woodland difference. For decades, we have been transforming living spaces with Marvin Windows, a fifth-generation family business. Marvin replacement windows have been known to increase the warmth of your cold rooms by 10 degrees. Think about that, 10 degrees warmer. When you welcome Woodland into your home, you will get a product expert to transform your living spaces, full-time, dedicated professional installers that you can trust in your home, along with the best products like Marvin. These are the reasons we're proud of our 5-star reviews and family legacy. No gimmicks, no pressure, and upfront pricing are why Woodland Windows and Doors is your trusted window and door expert in Chicagoland. Visit woodlandwindows.com to book your free in-home expert consultation. That's woodlandwindows.com, or stop by our showroom at the corner of Lake and Geary in Roselle.
You need a construction company, but who?
Call Crosscom.
A construction company you can trust that shares your Christian and conservative values. For decades, Crosscom has been doing work in Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana, and Wisconsin. Roofs, siding, windows, doors, gutters, basically everything for your home or business, even solar. Quality work and professional services that make you feel great about your decision to work with Crosscom.
Call Crosscom.
630-871-5500. Give them a chance to earn your business. If your repairs are due to storm, fire, or flood damage, you need to
call Crosscom.
They're licensed public adjusters. They work for you, not the insurance company. Crosscom will work to get you the money you deserve, the maximum payout. They know the insurance companies and how to deal with them. They win for you.
Call Crosscom.
Crosscom Construction and Public Adjusters.
This is Dan Lights with Crosscom. You can trust us with your home or business for high-quality work and fair prices. It's the only way we do business.
630-871-5500. CrosscomPublicAdjusters.com.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds too. Get a quote right now at 800-555-2085, 800-555-2085, or biglou.com.
And now, more Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. You know, I got so lost in the time. If you're just joining the show, we're talking to Frank Miniter. He's an investigative journalist, author, and cultural commentator whose work has appeared in Forbes, Fox News, PJ Media, and Outdoor Life. His newest book, Cool Heroes for Boys. I really do think it's you cannot have enough books about fatherhood. I just don't. We need more, in my opinion, because no one gives you the manual of what it's like to raise. I think about my own fatherhood. I never knew who my father was. You know, my mom and dad were drug addicts. My stepfather and dad. Now they're not. Thank God for that. But I never had the manual of what it was to be a hero, especially that word hero, because and Frank, when you think about this word hero, if boys don't hear words like "I'm proud of you" from their fathers, who are they going to look to for that affirmation? And affirmation is not a bad thing with a father and son, right?
Yeah, I'm proud of you, and I think the key to fatherhood is to tell the truth to them all the time. And they'll see it resonate in your voice and what you're trying to do. Even if you're telling them something they can't understand it, whatever age they are, maybe 8, 9, 10 years old, whatever they are, and you're telling them something they can't quite grasp yet, they see you're being honest with them and they believe you. And the relationship then gets stronger and they come to you with questions after that. And you can tell them more as they get older, give them more parts of the story, tell them the same story again, and they'll understand more parts of it. It'll help grow them into that strong guy you really want them to be.
You know, your article talks about saving heroes from the woke mob. I wonder if this fight is bigger than politics. Is the deeper issue envy because of civilization requires standards? What do they create? Comparisons. Comparisons create what? Discomfort. And discomfort creates the temptation to pull greatness down rather than climb upward ourselves. Are we witnessing resentment masquerading as this justice?
Yeah, but that's because of other reasons. There's a deep political reason that the left does want to disempower men, and the strong male I see is the patriarchy. I know I'm getting into loaded words and concepts here, but that's where they see it. And that strong male is not going to put up with it. Is going to keep their family on the straight and narrow, and is going to say, wait a second, this money has to go here. What do you mean? Due process under law, this has to apply, and so on. They're going to stand there and go, no. Whereas a single mother, easier to control, the kids in the public school, easier to control. It really becomes a cultural war over politics of control. It's sad to have to put it in those terms, but that's the whole war on the patriarchy, toxic masculinity, that fake term. That's where that all comes from. It's from politics.
You know, one of the things that I've had to grapple with my son committing suicide 4 years ago now, almost 5 years actually, in November, was the question, am I enough? And if a father isn't there to answer it, who will?
Yeah, I'm so sorry you went through that. I have other friends who lost kids to drug overdoses and so on, and they all ask those same questions. And I don't know. I mean, luckily I have not been in that position. I mean, I didn't have a good father. I had an abusive alcoholic for a father. So you have to find your role models where they are. I found it in a boxing gym. Floyd Patterson actually had a gym near my house, and he would take anyone in and teach them the box. And so I learned he was my ideal when I was, from 12 up to 18 years old. Thank goodness for him. He showed me the way. But without that role model, where are you going to be?
As humans, we've always, in my opinion, we needed heroes. Superman, Spider-Man, those are my two favorite heroes of all times. I mean, you think about ancient Greece, they had heroes. Christianity has saints. America, our founding fathers. Why is the desire to admire greatness so deeply embedded within our human nature?
Well, we want to grow to the ideal. We want to do the best in our life and bring ourselves up, pull ourselves up our own bootstraps, old Americanism. That's what we want to do. Any kid, you talk to them, that's what they want. It's other things that get in their way and push them down that are very unfortunate what's happening in a lot of our schools, especially to our boys. It doesn't give them that path forward. They don't get it. So they just go towards sports and forget academics and then don't learn the deep philosophy behind this stuff that really is so necessary to them. I mean, I say they in a general sense. There are great fathers out there, and there are kids learning this stuff, just not enough of them.
Yeah. You know, how important is faith in this discussion about fatherhood? Not just to your sons, but just fatherhood. How important is it for your children to see that you, what's David Ireland wrote a book, something about greater than yourself. How important is it to see a father in that position of humility and prayer as it relates to that dynamic of father-son relationship?
As you philosophically dig down into this and see where's this code come from that makes a man, what is he trying to live up to? If you take God out of that equation, the whole thing falls apart every time. It just does not work. The faith and being humble before God and saying, I can't know all of these things. It's not possible for me. I'm a human being. I can't know these things, but I'm putting myself in the footsteps of Jesus, in my case, of Jesus Christ. I'm saying, this is my path forward. Look at the ideal that he's showing me. And I'm humble enough to say, I really don't know anything, but I'm trying. Without faith, you don't even have our individual rights. They all just evaporate.
Yeah. You know, I wrote a book myself called Letters to John Boy. It's a book about, what happened, how I took my eye off the ball. I'm getting ready to release 2 new books called A Father's Reckoning. It's basically a devotional, 90-day devotional companion to that book. But I also created this book called The Build. I'm not really ready to talk about that one yet, but it's basically a man, a father, and he just has all these issues and all these problems. Who was your hero growing up? I know you said you had struggles with your own father. Who was your hero growing up?
Well, I mentioned Floyd Patterson, and he was. And I had a few great teachers, a few great coaches, a great track coach. Shout out to Coach Cobb, a wonderful man who would do anything for you. But a couple of great teachers that actually I still talk to, high school teachers that I still know. Just fantastic individuals. A lot of them weren't. I went to a New York public school system. It did have gang issues and other problems in it. And they weren't as caring. They were more caring sometimes about their own union than they were about the kids. But there were some great teachers in there. So you're right. You look for them. You have to find them. And I can see why. And I jumped into this issue with the previous book of why do kids go towards a gang? And coming from a fatherless home, you're in this inner city. And who you're looking to? You're looking for someone who has power on the street, power around you, who's something you embody, something you want to be. And unfortunately, they head the wrong direction. They're going to somebody who has the wrong code. They're a criminal.
Yeah,
and it's the wrong direction.
As somebody that gravitated toward gangs because my mom was a drug addict, gangs make you feel empowered. They make you feel like you are that hero. When you look at these teen takeovers and things of that nature, what's at the bottom? What's underneath all of that? A lot of people want to yell and scream at these kids, but what's really going on, you think, with these kids, with a lot of these teen takeovers? It's happening now across the country.
Yeah, they're crying out for order. They really are. They want someone to step in and show them the path forward. I realize they're desperate. They're having a good time in a crazy way. But they really want that order, that control. They want that stronger male to step in and go, here's the adventure. They want to go on that rite of passage. Here's the adventure so you can build yourself into who you actually want to be. That's really, if you could pull one of them out of there and have some time with them, take them somewhere in a wilderness adventure or something, get them away from their own environment, you would find that out. They're just looking for that example to grow into something better.
Yeah. What went into your thought patterns? You sat down and you said, this book, Cool Heroes for Boys, needs to be out there now. What was the thought pattern? What was your thought? What were you thinking to bring this book to life?
Well, I'm already an author. I'm New York Times bestsellers and stuff. And I'm sitting down, take my kid to the library. Let's find some books for you because you're getting now the age. You need to find books that blow your hair back. I can hand you the books that blew my hair back when I was a kid, but they may not resonate with him and his generation. So I tried some of them, and some of them we liked, but none of them really were grabbing him. So he's about 8 years old, and I take him to the library, and he's looking at all these things, and I say, what about Harry Potter? And he goes, yeah, Daddy, Harry's okay, but the girl's always the smart one. He's kind of dumb. And it was like this over and over again. There just wasn't the heroes there for him. So I went to Barnes & Noble. Let's see if we can find something that's new. And it was even worse there. This politically correct garbage, not made to create a stand-up boy. So I'm like, let's go find these real stories. So we started to actually physically go to these places. Walking the Freedom Trail in Boston to see where Paul Revere ran, that kind of thing.
Wow.
I actually go there and then turning those into stories on the page.
Wow. We got to go to break. I hope you can. Do you have time to stay for one more segment?
Oh, sure.
This is a little longer segment, so I know I was talking to Jenny, and I thought I only had you for 2, but I think there's a question I want you to answer that I think is a very important question to fathers and sons and even mothers who are listening to this show right now. So when we come back from break, I got a question. It's 3 questions that I want to pose to you, and I would love to get your answer, because I really do think it's important that young boys, that men, that fathers understand the answer that you will provide to this when we get back. You're listening to Black and Right. We'll be right back.
Scott Jennings sees business as usual in California.
Do I think it's fraudulent on its face that a Republican didn't get more than 25% of the vote in a mayor's race in L.A.? No, that's not inherently fraudulent. I'm not surprised at all. I mean, California routinely picks the literal worst people in the world to run the state and the cities. That does not seem to be a shocking outcome to me.
The Scott Jennings Show. Weekdays at noon, right before Hugh Hewitt at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Fox News, I'm Roger Stern. 2 of President Trump's envoys are in Switzerland, with Vice President J.D. Vance to follow. Talks with Iran set to begin tomorrow.
This as Israel and Hezbollah agreed to reinstitute a shaky ceasefire yesterday amid their fighting in southern Lebanon. An end to the conflict there is part of the deal between the U.S. and Iran.
Fox's Max Gordon, another possible stumbling block. It's not clear if Iran has reclosed the Strait of Hormuz. Early voting underway today in the New York City primaries, and the city's leaders trying to push Democrats in a clear direction.
Democratic Socialist Mayor Zohran Mamdani says the Democratic Party needs to change and get a backbone, and he means electing more Democrats further to the left and more socialists.
Fox's Brian Yennis. America is listening to Fox News.
Making the switch to a new communications and IT company may seem like a big ordeal, but if you're not getting the reliable support, consistent internet, and secure solutions your company needs, meet Access One, your local Chicagoland IT experts. Access One has been powering Chicago businesses with secure, reliable IT solutions for over 30 years from our headquarters right here in the West Loop. Whether it's VoIP phones, dedicated internet, managed cybersecurity, cloud backups, or 24/7 support, Access One is here for you. Serving thousands of companies from Naperville to the North Shore, Access One is Chicago-owned and Chicago-run, a trusted IT partner for law firms, clinics, tech startups to manufacturers. We'll make the switch easier than you think. Let's talk. Call 800-804-8333 or visit accessoneinc.com. Rated top 5% in customer satisfaction and a Better Business Bureau A+ rated business. That's accessoneinc.com. Tech made personal, locally.
Platform safety is critical at your commercial and industrial facility. Keeping people safe and meeting OSHA requirements isn't optional. That's why Vans Industrial offers free platform inspections by professional structural engineers who know exactly what to look for. Problems with platforms, ladders, or stairs can lead to costly fines or worse. Vans Industrial helps you meet OSHA standards to protect people in your facility.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. With decades of experience, I bring long-standing industry knowledge from inspecting, correcting, and replacing countless platforms to make facilities safer. Vans Industrial is a specialty contractor equipped to modify or replace steel catwalks, handrails, stairways, and ladders. Our union building trades professionals fabricate and install high-quality steel systems that create safer work environments.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free platform inspection by professional structural engineers. See what else we can do for you. Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS Industrial.com.
President Trump has triggered a $200 billion tech disruption, and Wall Street is asleep at the switch. This $200 billion investment in chip technology could make today's artificial intelligence chips obsolete. Technology that will make today's AI data centers a thing of the past, like IBM's old mainframes. While most investors are focused on old-fashioned AI, there are 3 companies quietly building a trillion-dollar triangle that could transform every tech sector on Earth. These 3 companies are gearing up to develop and manufacture supercomputers the size of a dinner plate. Institutions like Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street are pouring more than $200 billion into this AI revolution. Investment guru George Gilder has been predicting tech revolutions for more than 40 years, including the iPhone, Netflix, and Amazon. Now he's got his finger on 3 companies whose technology will change tech forever. Log on to TrillionDollarTriangle.com to find out which 3 companies are working on what could be the biggest tech disruption since the internet. TrillionDollarTriangle.com. That's TrillionDollarTriangle.com.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
Black and Right continues. Once again, here's John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. Chicago, AM 560, 92.7 FM and AM 1400, Detroit, Michigan. If you're just joining the show, we're talking to Frank Miniter. He wrote a book called, Cool Heroes for Boys. He's written in Forbes, Fox News, PJ Media, and Outdoor Life. But one of the questions that I want, Frank, let's say if your son came to you tonight and said, Dad, what does it mean to be a good man? What would your answer be different from the answer America is giving boys right now, and why?
Yeah, that's a big open-ended question. So I'd have to go into a story of some kind.
Yeah, please go ahead.
And show him an action of what you would do. I mean, I literally saved a drowning girl in front of my son when I had his Boy Scout troop out.
Oh, wow.
A girl flipped her kayak, and I threw my phone and keys on the ground and just jumped in the water and saved her life. And he saw that. He actually waded into the lake. He was 5, up to about his knees, and he was standing there as I took her out. And he said, Dad, I wanted to help you.
Wow.
But those kind of, okay, that's an extreme, right? But you can go into a story of something that you did or you saw done, and through the narrative, you start to show examples. If you just try to go and give principles, it doesn't really resonate with somebody. You have to give a good narrative.
Oh, wow. I know you I really appreciate your time, and I know you said you'll take a couple calls. Patrick from Royal Oaks. Hey, Patrick.
John, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you? We got Frank Miniter on the line as well.
Oh, no, I've been listening to the interview. Frank, I just want to say I'm really enjoying the interview. You mentioned Mr. Patterson, Floyd Patterson, a great boxer. I think I read a story about him years ago. He was Floyd was a great heavyweight fighter, but one of the experts said that if he'd stayed a light heavyweight, he might have gone down as the greatest light heavyweight fighter of all time.
Yeah, he fought about 190 pounds. He was barely 6 feet tall. And yeah, he was tiny for a heavyweight. He was the youngest ever heavyweight at that. Tyson became the youngest after him, but at that time he was. But he faded fairly fast into his mid-20s because once he slowed down a little, he just was too small to compete with a lot of those guys.
Hey, by the way, I have a little news for you, John. I got a call from the Detroit Free Press. They're going to publish another one of my letters tomorrow in the Free Press. It's called Donald Trump, Our Founders, and God. And what I'm saying in the article is that Donald Trump has a lot of the same characteristics that our founding fathers did. They were courageous, forward-thinking, and they put it all on the line, including their very lives for our country.
Wow, I can't wait to read it.
By the way, guys, when I'm 68. When I was a kid, I had a lot of heroes. I used to love John Wayne movies. I still watch Gunsmoke, James Arness.
Oh, wow. And you, an author, too. You got to go out and get Frank's book, Patrick.
Oh, Frank, it sounds good. Frank, who are some of the heroes you write about?
It starts with George Washington, and it goes all the way to the end to a Medal of Honor winner, a current one. So it goes through 20 people. Some of them are American heroes, but from around the world, Cicero and the 47 Ronin in Japan. Some you might not know, Tecumseh and so on, but others you will. But what I tried to do with these stories is to absolutely tell the truth, so I dug deep into them, and I learned a lot in each chapter I got into.
Yeah, I just read a bio about Jack Fletcher, the Navy admiral in World War II. He was a Medal of Honor winner.
Yeah.
He was an ensign, and I believe his uncle was a naval admiral in charge of that campaign. He won the Medal of Honor for the same battle.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Patrick. Appreciate your call, brother, as always. All right. Let's go to Craig from Mount Greenwood. Craig.
Oh, hey, John. Thanks for taking my call. And hello to your guest there, Frank, talking about a really good, important subject. I had a comment I want to make, kind of like comment, question kind of thing, see what Frank thinks about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was challenged as a young dad many years ago. It affected my my way of kind of interacting with my children, although when I started out, I was real rough on my kids. I was real like kind of like with the, and like not in a good way, like kind of a lot of yelling and all that kind of thing. But then what got my attention was I was told that, you know what, when your kids look at you, it's supposed to be what their thought is what you're the dad, you as dad is what God must be like. What God said, that your children would grow up with something that God's got it built in, where the kids will be saying when they see their dad in different situations, how they handle things and what they do, that in their mind, without even thinking about it, or that it's not a conscious thing. It's just that as they grow up and that it's something that kind of like forms an idea in their mind of what God must be like from a young child. So, I mean, have you noticed that, like in the scripture or something like that, or if that would be like something that, like all dads should be challenged to take and keep that in mind all the time to, make sure that you basically don't, act in a way that would be kind of, different from that, like kind of.
I get it. Yeah. Yelling at somebody that usually that means you're losing your temper, you're losing your cool, which is taking you out of where you should be. A man should be calming the situation down and giving the right direction to everybody. He's disciplinarian. I mean, he has to enforce the code, the rules. A cool example that popped in my head that I saw this once was a guy came in. I was working at a newspaper office, and a guy came in and
started. Frank, hold that thought. I want you to finish this when we get back from break. Craig took a nice little journey to ask that question, so we ran a little out of time, but we'll be right back.
Concerned about your retirement accounts or bank savings? Tired of stock market turbulence? Or simply curious about diversifying with precious metals? Tune into The Gold Show on AM 560, The Answer. Learn how gold and silver can help protect your financial future. Discover insights, strategies, and opportunities designed to help you make smarter decisions and guide you to more confident investing. Don't miss The Gold Show this Saturday morning at 11 on AM 560, The Answer.
Let Cole Digital turn your outdoor space into the ultimate entertainment setup. With a 75-inch SunBright outdoor TV that can stay out year-round and great sound throughout. Like planter speakers on the patio, high-quality rock speakers that blend right into your landscape, or bronze garden speakers that blend into the environment. Our technicians will dig a hole and install an in-ground subwoofer for incredible bass and the best in sound quality. We also install outdoor rated access points for Wi-Fi coverage throughout your yard, and cameras that let you keep an eye on everything with motion-activated recording. Tour our Cole Digital Design Center, 15,000 square feet of audio, video, and great design ideas. Cole Digital is family-owned by conservatives that share your values, and we're based right in Frankfurt. Visit Cole Digital today and schedule your consultation. ColeDigital.com. That's KOLE digital.com, or call 815-469-2000, and we'll bring the showroom to you. 815-469-2000. Cole Digital, what smart living is all about.
It's hard to deny the constant attack of negative emotions that flood us online. The fear, anxiety, worry, and confusion that come from the constant stream of news and social media can be overwhelming. There is a way to escape this never-ending cycle and find peace, hope, and joy in your daily life. Christianity.com, with a wide range of daily devotionals, biblical answers to life's toughest questions, and insightful Bible study articles from your favorite pastors and authors on current events and issues, Christianity.com provides a little heaven on earth. Go to Christianity.com now. now.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
It's the show the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. It's Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. Before the break, we were talking to Frank Miniter. Frank, one of the things I thought about when Patrick was talking, which one of your heroes that you learned the most about that you didn't know, and it really solidified, man, this is a hero.
Yeah, Jesse Owens actually surprised me. I only knew a little bit about him and the gold medals he'd won at 36 Olympics. Now he stood up to the Nazi regime and all that. I didn't realize that one of the founders of Adidas actually searched him out right before the Olympics in Olympic Village, a German cobbler, and came up to him and said, "Here's a pair of cleats. I'd like it." And a very new idea, and they look like modern cleats. I'd like you to try them. I think you'll do well in them. Instead of taking him to the German team, he took him to Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens was open-minded enough to look at him and go, here I am in a Nazi regime standing up to it, a black man racing in Germany in 1936. Crazy, right? Here's this white guy coming up to me. But he is open-minded enough to look at that and go, those are pretty good cleats.
Yeah.
And he wore them right during the Olympics. And he ended up coming home, and FDR actually wouldn't welcome him into the White House. And then he had a different, he's actually, that turned him into a Republican. But so he had a different coming of age in himself. But just a beautiful story.
Oh, that's amazing. One more call, and then we'll talk about where people can go get the book. Carrie from Crown Point.
John and Frank, I got an opportunity to substitute teach to high school boys and girls, but I got to teach To Kill a Mockingbird, which has Atticus Finch, a great fictional man who was a real man. He was calm. He outsmarted the bad guys. Frank, can you think of any other great book that we can teach young men that everyone will like? It's a modern feel to the book because of the subject matter. Do you have any ideas?
Well, my son loved the Warrior books, Jocko's books, the Warrior Kid books. They're more from like 8 to 10-year-old. He's now into older stuff than that. So it depends on the age bracket you're in. Kill a Mockingbird, I don't think I would give it to a kid that young. Certainly the movie, Gregory Peck, is fantastic. But also
absolutely
beautifully.
All right. Thanks, Carrie. Carrie, you're the best.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Now, Frank, where can people go out and purchase your book? Do you have any social media handles? Where can they follow you?
Yeah, they can find me on X and Facebook and Instagram. But Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Walmart, wherever. The book's available everywhere.
Yeah, and you know what, Frank? One more last thing. One of my goals in life is to help heal those wounds from fathers. You look about you watch people, you see things that's happening in the news. There's always something related to a wound from a father. And if we can cut back on that and teach men to be real fathers and to love on their kids, to be their hero, to be there to give them that affirmation, what would this world look like?
Yeah, it's hard to walk both because you have to both be soft and hard at the same time. When I've coached like a soccer team, I've had literally dads come up and ask me, "Can you say no to my son? I can't say no to him." And and that's disturbing, right? They can't then give the kid the strength the kid really does need and the guidance the kid needs. So you have to walk both all the time, and it's always a line you're walking. And I'll ask my wife all the time, "Am I walking this right? Am I too far this way? Too far that way?" And she'll let me know.
Yeah. What are your social media platforms that you're on?
Mostly X. You can find me there at Frank Miniter.
All right, and they can get the book at Amazon and anywhere books are sold.
Barnes and Noble, wherever you want to go. Cool Heroes for Boys.
I think I may go. No, you know what? I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go to Barnes & Noble. I got one right around my house to pick it up. Frank Miniter, investigative journalist, author, and cultural commentator, author of the book Cool Heroes for Boys. Thank you so much for joining us on Black and White Radio, and thank you so much for being so gracious with your time.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And Jenny is an amazing person, and I'm glad that she's working with you.
Agreed.
All right, Frank. Thank you. You have a great Father's Day.
All right, you too.
All right, that's Frank Miniter, guys. Go out and get his book, Cool Heroes for Boys, where he talks about all these heroes, and we do need more heroes in our lives. We need to show men and boys, young boys, that there really are heroes. Super.
Hello?
Super, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up, brother?
What's up, good? What's up, brother? How you doing today?
Did you say cuz? Did you say what's up? Yeah, I thought you said what up, cuz.
Yeah, I did quick.
That's all right. That's cool.
What's good with you, bro? So anyway, man, I just wanted to talk about a number of things right quick.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a problem with my reception, please just let me know.
No, you good.
But okay, so here we go. I am Super Rashide, the the entertainer, activist, political analyst, and sports analyst. So here we go. My thing is this. Let's start with June 19th, and then I want to talk about the fatherhood thing you guys were talking about. And then I want to talk about how shady Trump is. Now, June the 19th, which is celebrating, when our people were free, or some people of African ethnicity was free, which, they were already free anyway before they even came over here. They just so happened to be in bondage. This is what I want to teach and what I'm going to teach to our people. We cannot call those people slaves. We should never call them slaves. We should call them Africans in bondage. When we use that word, or those two words, slave and slavery, constantly, you're doing something to damage the spirit, the heart, the mind, the soul of Africans from little kids up until they are adults. You are programming them to let them know your people were inferior. Your people were not were less than human. Your people, your ancestors were not worthy, which is a lie. They were Africans who were in bondage, and we play a game with ourselves as Africans when we constantly say those slaves were in slavery. That is ridiculous.
Hey,
terrible.
So hold the line, because you do realize America did not create the word slavery, right? That term.
I understand that.
We did not create that term, and I want to go into that when we get back. You're listening to Black and White. We'll be right back.
Don't put the blame on me. Don't put your blame on me.
President Trump has triggered a $200 billion tech disruption, and Wall Street is asleep at the switch. This $200 billion investment in chip technology could make today's artificial intelligence chips obsolete. Technology that will make today's AI data centers a thing of the past, like IBM's old mainframes. While most investors are focused on old-fashioned AI, there are three companies quietly building a trillion-dollar triangle that could transform every tech sector on Earth. These three companies are gearing up to develop and manufacture supercomputers the size of a dinner plate. Institutions like Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street are pouring more than $200 billion into this AI revolution. Investment guru George Gilder has been predicting tech revolutions for more than 40 years, including the iPhone, Netflix, and Amazon. Now he's got his finger on three companies whose technology will change tech forever. Log on to TrillionDollarTriangle.com to find out which three companies are working on what could be the biggest tech disruption since the internet. TrillionDollarTriangle.com. That's TrillionDollarTriangle.com.
Our founders believed that freedom wasn't just a word, it was a way of life. Larry Elder here. The freedom to move forward, the freedom to pursue what matters most, the freedom to live fully. But pain has a way of taking those freedoms away. That's why Relief Factor exists. I've been taking Relief Factor for a number of years, and I do not miss a day without taking it. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free, research-based supplement designed to help support a healthy inflammatory response, addressing pain at its source, not just covering it up. Over 1 million Americans have tried Relief Factor, and about 2/3 go on to order more. So this year, as we celebrate 250 years of freedom, ask yourself a simple question. Are you living with the freedom you deserve? Relief Factor gives you the opportunity to live pain-free and get back to the life you love. To commemorate our country's birth, we're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76. So you can celebrate your freedom from pain. Your $17.76 3-week quick start is ready for you. Visit ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-4-RELIEF, 800-4-RELIEF.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony.
Get up, get on up, get up, get on up. Welcome back to Black and Right Radio. Now, Super, I think you're becoming the new Phil from Blue Island. I really do believe you're becoming the new Phil from Blue Island. But when you think about that term slave, it comes from the Middle Ages. You know that, right? The Slavic people from Eastern Europe. When they were captured and sold into bondage. I think the Latin word is sclavus. Sclavus. I think that's what it is. And it means.
John.
Hold on. It means to be both a slave and eventually a slave person. So we didn't create, as Americans, we didn't create that term.
Let's be clear, John. It doesn't matter who created it. It doesn't matter about.
Well, why does it matter now? No, this is my show. Wait, hold on. You don't. I'm the one that says hold on. Why does it matter now? Are you enslaved? My kids are your kids enslaved? Are your friends enslaved? Mentally, maybe, but are they in physical bondage today? Why does that matter now?
It matters about the terminology, and it mattered from day one because you're constantly hurting the spirit. Because every time, or you're making their blood boil, which my blood boils every time I hear people, those slaves in slavery. It's either going to make your blood boil or it's going to hurt your spirit. Why not call them what they were, Africans in bondage? Because when you say that, it's like you had no beginning until you were in bondage. And over in America, we had a beginning. They had a beginning in Africa. They were Africans. Let's celebrate and know about what they did over in Africa.
So are you a slave or a free man? Are you a slave or you're a freed man?
That is the most ridiculous thing.
No, it's not.
Ask somebody.
No, you know why it's not? No, it's not. Are you familiar with the? Go ahead.
I am a human being. I am a human being that was born free, like Africans, Europeans were born free under God's giving love for freedom. Now, my ancestors or some of my ancestors may have been in bondage over here, but they were Africans in bondage. I don't need to hear that constant word because it does.
So you don't believe in ADOS, American descendants of slavery? You don't believe in those people who believe in the freed man?
I believe in the term is hurting little bitty kids to the point of they are being. It
only hurts them if you teach that it hurts them. I'm not in slavery.
It hurts them because of their spirit growing up, knowing that they look at a little white kid. That little white kid constantly is saying, "Your people
were enslaved too." What about the Irish that were enslaved? What about the Jewish that were enslaved? Does that matter?
Okay. No.
They weren't enslaved? They weren't slaves?
No. Here's the case.
What about the Indians?
Here's the point. Here's the point. Here's my key point before I go to my next subject. Before you let me go to my next subject, the Jews said that they were they were Jews and not Jews, but what is those people that were in the Bible? The
Israelites. You're talking about the Israelites.
They were not called. They never called themselves slaves. They said they were Israelites in bondage. Key and point. They always said Israelites in bondage. That is the whole point right there. Black people should not take that label that they were slaves in slavery, because when you do that, you're giving bigot and racist people what they want, because you're constantly holding on to that spirit of that word and that terminology. We got to let it free. It should have been freed a long time ago. It should have been gone.
Super.
Africans in bondage. What's wrong with that?
So how were the Africans rounded up? You think the British just came in there and just ran roughshod? How did the British get the slaves? Do you know the history of that?
Of course I do. And I would say this. A lot of our people back over there were cowards because they did that to save their own behind. They gave away their own people to save their own.
Most of them were their enemies. They were their enemies, though.
What I'm saying
wait, we got to go to break. Hold the line. We got to go to break. You listening to Black and Right? Hour 2 coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
When life changes, Get Covered Illinois has you covered. Real Illinoisans, here to help. Whether you connect with one of our free brokers or navigators, or compare plans through our online platform created for you, we are here to help you find the plan that meets your needs and budget. Get Covered Illinois is the only place connecting you to tax credits that may reduce your monthly costs. Apply and enroll at getcoveredillinois.gov.
Sponsored by Illinois Department of Insurance.
Temperatures are rising, and so are concerns about inflation, market volatility, and taxes. Revisit your financial plan this summer. VestGen Wealth Partners work with individuals to develop personalized plans that help navigate changing conditions with confidence. Visit GetRetiredStayRetired.com to learn more.
Advisory services offered through VestGen Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Securities offered through Private Client Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Private Client Services and VestGen Advisors, LLC are unaffiliated entities. Any information discussed does not constitute investment advice. VestGen Advisors and Private Client Services do not offer tax legal advice.
News, opinion, insight. This is AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago. Streaming at 560theanswer.com on the AM 560 mobile app, or tell your smart speaker to play The Answer.
Obstacles for a final agreement. I'm Roger Stern, Fox News. Talks between the U.S. and Iran are set for tomorrow in Switzerland. The topics are to include the future of Iran's nuclear program, but there could be stumbling blocks whether the Strait of Hormuz is closed again and the fighting in Lebanon. Here's Fox's Alex Hogan in Tel Aviv.
Iran says it did so because of the recent violence between the IDF and Hezbollah in Lebanon. The Israeli military claims that Hezbollah fired more than 50 projectiles at Israeli forces in southern Lebanon, and Lebanon claims that these strikes have now killed as many as 20 people there today. As a result, the IRGC says ships should not approach the waterway. However, a U.S. defense official tells Fox that the IRGC cannot close the waterway since they don't control it. The U.S. controls it. And U.S. Central Command says that ships are moving in the strait. As many as 55 merchant ships transited, moving 17 million barrels of oil.
Two of the president's envoys were in Switzerland for the talks with the vice president on his way. Early voting in New York City's primary is underway, with the mayor pushing Democratic voters to the left. Here's Fox's Brian Yennis in Brooklyn.
Democratic Socialist Mayor Zohran Mamdani says the Democratic Party must change or it will lose the presidential election in 2028. And he says that change begins by electing more socialist Democrats in Tuesday's primary here in New York. He's heavily campaigning this weekend for 2 Democratic Socialists and 1 former Democratic Socialist in 3 New York congressional House races. They are trying to unseat 2 mainstream Democrats by promising to abolish ICE, condemning the genocide in Israel, and vowing to tax the rich.
Mamdani himself voted today. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
Tonight, expect the clouds to thicken. The temperature will drop to 61. On Sunday, the day will start off cloudy with a morning thunderstorm, then periods of rain, possibly heavy, and another thunderstorm in the afternoon. Keep an eye out for flash flooding. The high will reach 71. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
As a local business owner, you get called every week by marketing companies. We get it. We have hundreds of satisfied customers. Here's what a satisfied client recently said.
Open enrollment is going great. We're hitting record numbers. Thank you so much for this report. It really is amazing to see how the marketing is really shaping our enrollment around the city.
Salem Surround. Is your business hard to find online? Meet with a digital marketer today for ideas that will make your business stand out. Visit salemsurround.com.
The first Top Shelf Country Cruise showed out. The bar's set at exceptional. Don't miss the second sailing in March 2027 aboard the luxurious Celebrity Summit, departing from Tampa with stops in Bimini, Key West, and Cozumel. Plus, performances from some of your favorite country artists, including Riley Green, Chris Young, Lauren Elena, and Randy Houser. Our price guarantee locks in your best deal the moment you book. No surprises. Don't settle for anything less than Top Shelf. Reserve your cabin at TopShelfCountryCruise.com.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250 micro to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
The following contains a celebrity impersonation.
Mr. President, we're seeing reporting that air conditioning systems are failing as temperatures rise. What is your response?
I said, don't wait. People wait until the last second, then suddenly it's hot and nothing works. I understand this stuff probably better than anybody.
Mr. President, why hasn't the White House issued any guidance?
I gave perfect guidance. Call Air Right Heating and Cooling. That's the guidance. If people followed it, we wouldn't even be talking about this.
Sir, but homeowners have so many HVAC options.
They're not like Air Right. You got some bad installers out there, some real bad hombres. I wouldn't let them near the White House. It would be a complete disaster.
Mr. President, there are reports of significant rebates on new systems. Can you confirm?
I've heard about them. A lot of people talking about them. If you miss out, you'd have to be really not so smart. Tremendous savings, let me tell you.
Visit Air Right Heating and Cooling at AIR-RITE.com. Air Right, doing it right since 1959.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
AM 560, The Answer.
Prepare to have your mind opened. The lies of the mainstream media are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony.
I'm coming in hot. Yeah, coming in hot. Just like the fajita. I write what I live. My life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
Welcome back. Hour 2 of Black and Right Radio on AM 560 Chicago, 92.7 FM and AM 1400 Detroit, Michigan. If you missed that first hour, head over to 560theanswer.com. Download the podcast. You can listen to the show no matter where you are. Super, before I let you finish your thought, I'm going to tell you, slavery holds one thing of importance for me. It tells me what I will not accept. I will never be enslaved. Slavery means absolutely nothing to me because I wasn't affected by it. Where it affected me is to know that I would have been a Harriet Tubman. I would have been willing to put my life on the line because there's no way I'm going to allow an individual to enslave me at all. A lot of people try to do that here on this show with how I think. Basically, what I'm saying right now, there are people who are offended by that. But you know what? I really don't care at all because slavery, Jim Crow, that didn't affect me. What affects me is living in the now. What will I teach my kids? I don't teach my kids that they have to be concerned about slavery. No, there's too many other important things that are happening in the world in which we live in now. You know what the new slavery, these mental chains that are bounding people are bound by. That's what we're fighting today, man. And people and those who want to keep having us in the past, which we have no effect on, and that's why this was one heck of a conversation right here.
I'm trying to figure out, Officer Stater, what the hell is wrong with looking at yourself as black first before you anything else?
Okay, there are ills that happen in this country, and black people took the brunt of a lot of it. We weren't the only ones.
Wait,
so
hold
we
on.
took the brunt of a lot of it. This country has not always been great to black people. I acknowledge that. Can we understand that? But to act as if we're still living in this perpetual state of racism that has something to do with your everyday life, that we ain't never gonna be able to come together if you believe that, man. If you say you black first, that's crazy. That's like a white man saying, I'm white first.
They are.
But they do say wrong then. They wrong then.
America is white first, man.
No, America is not white first.
America considered you property. You were
going back.
Sir,
going back.
Let me ask you something. This
are you property today?
This is where the disconnect comes from for us. When you say they traded black people, if you were traded, would you consider that you were stolen or traded? If it was you, if somebody took you right now and against your will and took you to another country, would you consider that you were traded or would you consider that you were stolen?
If somebody enslaved me
yes.
and sold me to these white people,
yes.
I would consider that I was traded by my own people.
Okay. So where you and I differ is a fundamental understanding that
There's no fundamental. This is historical fact. We were enslaved in Africa and sold through slave trade around the world. Majority of us went to South America.
We did.
United States of America that we know today.
If you would not consider yourself stolen, that's something wrong with your internal compass.
Stolen by who?
Black
people. Whoever stole you. Whoever stole
by
you
black
for another
and
country.
white people. By black and white people, I was stolen.
But I'm trying to figure out off the state of what the hell is wrong with looking at yourself as black first before you're anything else, black before you're American, black before you're anything else. What's wrong with that?
Okay, because all black people ain't the same.
You know what, Super? I do not worship my skin color. I do not worship my skin color. I never have, and I never will. Go ahead.
I think you got me mixed up. You got the whole thing mixed up. What I'm saying, brother. This is the key thing. Now we're talking about this because I wanted to talk about Juneteenth. I'm going to go forward and teach this, no matter what whoever thinks about it. I'm going to go forward and teach this.
You have every right.
That Africans were in bondage, and we can leave those two words behind because they do nothing for us. Now, what happened? How we got there? It's two different dynamics. One would be our own people took the scapegoat of not standing up and fighting these Europeans off altogether. That's one way. Another way is they made a deal to some of these Africans, and these Africans took it. But the other Africans didn't want to stand up and fight. So they said, look, it's better these Africans go than us. So that's the cowardly way. We should have all stood and fought off these Europeans until they had an understanding of we're going to do business the right way. You're not going to come and take nothing. But those Africans didn't do what they were supposed to do, and they took out. They went the coward. Some of them went the cowardly way. But now let's get to.
Wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
I'm going to let you get to your points, but the phone lines have lit up. Brian from Evansville, Indiana.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. A happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day,
Can you guys give me 1 minute, and I'm going to educate you guys on slavery? First of all, give me 1 minute.
Go ahead.
First of all, England was not a slave society. If you made it to England, you was free. What England did, they pimped it, and they know how to divide and conquer people. Point number one. Point number two, there was no black people in Sub-Saharan Africa when the Dutch and Portuguese came. You didn't become black until you came to America, bro. Those people belonged to tribes. They spoke different languages. They went to war with each other. They weren't soul brothers. They didn't see each other as
Still
one.
not.
That's how the
Still not.
Hold on. That's how the Portuguese and Dutch took advantage of them. The difference between Irish and African slaves, Africans fought in tribes, Irish fought in clans. They wanted to unify people too. That's how England went through them. If you look at the movie Braveheart, if you missed it, look at it again. William Wallace had to convince tribal clan leaders to come as one to fight against Lone Shakes, which they didn't want to do. England was a unified country, and they were slave free. Here's what they had. They had undesirables. So you didn't become black, brother, until you came to America when they put those on those slaves.
Negroes.
If you look at Africans today, they don't recognize race. They'll smile at your face and stuff, but sooner or later they go say, I'm Igbo, I'm Watusi. You are the only ones who are black. So when it comes we sold it. There wasn't no we back then.
Let him
and
finish.
I know a lot of black people don't want to hear that. There was no we back. They did the same thing to the Indians, even to the Indians in Asia. The Mahar Empire went against the Hindus, and the British took advantage of that.
Yeah, but Braveheart was Scotland. Thanks, Blakemore. Braveheart was Scotland, not Ireland.
So
thanks, Brian.
No, Braveheart was Scottish.
Yeah, that's Scotland. You said Ireland. You said Irish.
Well, excuse me. He had to convince Scottish clansmen to come together as one, which they really didn't want to do to fight against the British. That's why they was to get a united British kingdom. A lot of Scottish and Irish had to go, and guess where they sent them to America. Yep. But where the British made a mistake in America, I sent this to you, John.
Yeah, I saw it.
They made a mistake is putting the African slaves and the Irish and indentured service together, and they united. That's where you had Bacon's Rebellion come in. And what
Super drop off?
They said, we're not going to put blacks and whites together again no more because they are rebel. That's why you got racism. But thanks for hearing me, guys.
No problem. And Sin Q was one of the biggest slave traders that we have. Uncle Tommy. I see you, Valon. Uncle Tommy?
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
what's happening?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead, Uncle Tommy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm enjoying. You know, I've always enjoyed your programs.
Thank you.
I don't do it that often because I just want other people to get their input. But man, it's just happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
Thank you.
And the thing is, like you were trying to explain to the young man, that really when you look at mankind, period, it's a spiritual problem that we see from Adam and Eve. When they sinned and sin came in the world, the devil's, what he does, his whole thing is divide and conquer.
Yeah.
And bring dissension. It could be the same, you could be in the same nation. I mean, that was my major in college. I was a poli-sci major. And when you study, you see how that even in the same country, there was a group that divided against another group. And then, people would take advantage of that. And it's the same thing like he was saying before. When Africans, when they look at us, I'm talking about people that's in Africa, they look at us different because they don't identify themselves as black. Like he said, they're in whatever, tribe they're from, they identify more with that. And then when we try to put, and I see this a lot, as young people, when young people try to put their mentality on today's mentality of what happened hundreds of years ago.
Correct.
It's a total different culture. You cannot, when you look at, even when you look at people like Martin Luther King or you look at Booker T. Washington, it's a whole different mentality back then because it was different. And so we just can't lump and say, well, this, that, and the other because
that's true.
You wasn't living back in those days.
That's true. Uncle Tommy, that means that music means we got to go. We got to go to break. Thank you so much. Happy Father's Day to you, Uncle Tommy.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Listen to Black and Right. We'll be right back.
Larry Elder says the evidence speaks for itself.
Jasmine Crockett says if you reverse the race of the parties involved, the outcome would have been different. If Metcalf had been black and Carmelo Anthony white, different verdict. No evidence of that whatsoever. Neither the defense nor the prosecution said race had anything to do with the encounter. The defense argued self-defense. So why then are we talking about it?
The Larry Elder Show. Weeknights at 8, right before Sean Hannity at 10 on AM 560. The Answer.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, doctors Economos, Gavalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930, 630-830-4930, or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
Welcome back to Ask Hassellus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Are you the Weston from Hassellus Mattress?
That's me.
I'm your biggest fan.
Oh, well, thanks.
The way you talk about employee-free Hassellus showroom, free next-day delivery, and prices that are way low. I mean, nobody does it better.
I don't know what to say.
Say that I can get a free box spring with the purchase of any Sealy Posturepedic or Beauty Rest mattress.
Okay. Now through Monday, at Hassellus, get a free box spring with the purchase of any Sealy Posturepedic or Beauty Rest mattress.
Awesome.
You know what's really awesome? You can get a Beauty Sleep by Beauty Rest Queen Elm Cove A mattress. Others sell it for $1,459. But Hassellus has it for just $794.
I know. I have that tattooed on my...
Wow, you really are a fan.
Told ya.
Save big and get a free box spring through Monday at Hassellus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hassellus.com.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
And now, more Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. Let's go back to the phone lines. Oh, wrong. That is the wrong mouse. Let's go to Mitchell.
Hey, John. I wanted to bring something up from last week. The caller you guys have on right now, I guess his name is Super.
Yeah, he hung up, but I think he's back on the line.
Okay, so last week he talked about his biggest influence is R. Kelly. Of all the people that you could put on a pedestal and use as a classic example to laud them, it's R. Kelly. Are you kidding me? Hey, Super, why don't you take a look at your value system, A. B, I want you to look up as a great lesson. If you like learn lessons, this applies to you, Super. James Meredith, Ole Miss, 1961. Black Air Force pilot wants to go to Ole Miss, and they're not having it. So he's going to go anyway. So basically, RFK and JFK, they send in basically 5,000 troops, of American Army. And they gave, first of all, the governor of Mississippi wasn't having it. He told RFK to go pound sand. So that's why, John, you don't need, if Trump wants to send in the military, he does not need the governor at all. I mean, he can request it, but because they knew Eisenhower had the same problem in 1957. Ford versus Brown in education. Just look that up. But if you want to laud somebody, Super, right? R. Kelly was convicted in how many states of underage of interactions that were pretty, illegal? Strike one. Strike two. Why don't you learn about James Meredith? That's a real maverick. That's a real person who stood up for the values in 61 when everyone was against him. And he, by the way, RFK kept the military until he graduated. That's something that you should spend more time focusing on instead of R. Kelly. Do you hear what I'm saying here, Daddy-O?
I hear what you're saying,
weekend, John.
You as well, brother.
I don't know what we're yelling about!
Eduardo.
Oh, if you want, you can put me. If you got a guest on, he can put.
No, I don't have a guest on. I don't have. No, he Super's a caller.
Oh,
his phone keeps. He needs to go get a new phone because you can't text him. He goes to another text, and his phone just continues to drop. Go ahead, Eduardo.
Yeah, so we had the drive-by shooting and injured 12. We had the ugly-looking building this week unveiled with all these yuppie celebrities. And,
Wait, you mean when Biden got lost on stage? When Biden got lost on stage?
Kamala Harris dancing, that was terrible.
Yeah.
That was terrible to see. 42 million Americans have a balance of 1.6 trillion in debt.
Ooh.
40% don't even own stocks.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why we need trade schools. 40%, the degree doesn't even apply to what they're working with. It's ridiculous. Hey, by the way, we need to get moving on these arrests of these big-time politicians, the mayor and the governor. It needs to happen. On the fraud, it needs to happen.
Well, that's what I want to. That's what I want to. Eduardo, hold on. Just imagine, J.D. Vance really needs to ramp up this whole fraud SAR thing that he's got going on.
Yeah.
When all is said and done, how much fraud across this country do you think there is? You think it's in the trillions?
Oh, probably even worse. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's the Rahm Emanuel take advantage of a crisis.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many millionaires you think have I'm looking right now, illegal aliens indicted in Kentucky fraud scheme. 8 illegals indicted in Social Security fraud scheme.
Did you see the one where there were like clerks in Salt Lake City? They let illegals out the back, just like the judges did.
See?
Yeah.
I would love to see what that true number is and how much money has been stolen. 11 illegals charged in Massachusetts fraud scheme. Dude, this has been going on for decades here in this country. And how many people have become millionaires based off this fraud, Eduardo?
Yeah, we need to have these arrests because you look on Drudge, he's got more people going Democratic in the House. It's just we need to play offense, not defense.
Valon, you there? Eduardo's here.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Oh,
yeah. Hey, hello, Valon.
How you doing? What's up, Eduardo? What I wanted to respond to a lot.
Thanks, Eduardo.
Number one, man, didn't Marion ask you last week not to put these leftists on first?
She did. She yelled at me.
First it was Phil, and now it's Sue. Now, the man was wrong on so many points. Let me tell you one of his last points that's just stuck in my head. He was telling, and you didn't respond to this, and this is the reason why I want to respond to it. He said the Jews in the Bible didn't refer themselves as slaves. Well, where did the phrase Hebrew slave come from? They were Hebrew slaves. And when it comes to America, the Irish was the first people who were slaves in America. People.
Well, remember they did it with the Indians first, but the Indians were sickly. They were too sickly and things of that nature.
Okay, well, but the Indians, they refused to be slaves. I mean, they didn't know how to enslave the Indians. That's the reason why they were eventually annihilated. They went from 100 million to 101,000. So that's the reason why the Indians weren't slaves. They did refuse.
Okay, wait, Valon, hold your point. I want to bring Jim on real quick because Super's back on the line. Jim from South Elgin.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Doing well, man. How are you?
Good. I have some of the same conversations on VON.
I'm sure. I know you and Valon. Valon doesn't do it that much anymore, though.
Well, the same thing. I said, nobody today is alive, is responsible for, or a victim of slavery. And see, this is what the Marxists want to do. They want to keep people divided and conquered instead of being one unified front.
Yep.
And that's why they want to see, you're black, you're white, you're this, you're that. Sometimes I'll use I don't know if this still happens, but orchestras, they used to have what are called blind auditions. So they could hear the person's music purely for the music, irrespective of who they are, how big they were, whatever.
Yeah.
If they could play the instrument, they were qualified.
Yeah. That's a good point. What was that? Yeah. What was that movie? Green Card. Well, did you see that movie with the black Marshall Ali played that black? Was he a pianist? I don't remember. Oh, that was a good movie, man. He had to have a white driver because he couldn't go into certain sundown cities. That was a really good movie.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Jim. Appreciate the call, man.
All right, guys, be good.
All right.
Let me finish. Now, you can go all the way back to Rome. Rome had slaves. Slaves, the word slave of all nationalities were slaves of the Roman Empire. Now, if Soup wants to put an emphasis instead of saying Africans in bondage, he could say formerly enslaved. To me, it really doesn't matter. Right, the formerly enslaved. I mean, that you could just say that, but it really doesn't matter. And when it comes to Juneteenth, who the hell gives a damn about Juneteenth? Why would you celebrate being the last one to know that you're not a slave anymore?
Okay. Well, Valon, that's not why. I mean, the Fields and the Supers of the world have made it that. When I was part of the Frederick Douglass Foundation, the point was that Republicans were the ones that did this act of freeing the slaves. That's what we celebrated for Juneteenth. Now it's been hijacked, and and a lot of people don't even know the true flag that was created for Juneteenth. They use this Pan-African flag. That is not the Juneteenth flag. It never was.
But, I don't even care about symbols. Symbols is what keeps us locked into a certain mindset. I don't give a damn about Juneteenth. I don't care about these made-up holidays. I'm an American, and that's it. And then to go back to what your uncle was saying and what Brian was saying. Like I know a lot of Africans, and you know a lot of Africans. And they come from many different countries in Africa. They don't say I'm from Africa. They say I'm from Nigeria. They claim the country.
That's right.
They say I'm from Ghana. They claim the country. Where's that place Barack Obama's from? Oh, Indonesia. They say I'm from Indonesia. They claim their country. They don't claim a whole continent. And people like Soup and Phil and the rest of them, they locked into this mindset of race, and Brian was right.
He was.
When it comes to about people just say that they're black. That is a made-up term that they made up in the probably the 70s, and then Jesse Jackson made up African American in 1985. I remember all of it.
Wait, you remember when we got beef because we told people don't call me an African American? Remember who's that called us and they beefed us because we said don't call me an African American? I'm an American.
I don't remember, but so many people try to beat us up.
My ancestors came from Africa. I was born and raised in the greatest country to ever be created. The greatest idea, America, the United States of America. That's who I am, an American. My ancestors. Now, if you want to use, wait, that's good one, Robert TW. If you want to say it, I'm from North America.
You ain't black.
And I want to piggyback off of Mitchell for a second. People like Sue is uplifting the worst people, the people with bad intention and bad influences with platforms that corrupt our youth. Yep. Why would you try to uplift the R. Kelly or P. Diddy or even Kaepernick? He didn't commit a crime, but yet he disrespected our country, the flag,
and he was a buster. He was a bust down. He was done. His career was over. He wasn't good.
And he was so dumb. He was ridiculing the wrong flag.
All right. And Valon, now you know he's back on the line, so I'm going to give him an opportunity to combat what you had to say. You're listening to Black or Right. Don't go anywhere. It's just getting good. Give us a call, 312-642-5600. We'll be right back.
Make sure that you never miss a day of Sean Thompson when you subscribe to the Sean Thompson Show podcast, presented by the Alpha Wealth Group. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts, or search for The Sean Thompson Show on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
News, I'm Daria Albinger. Congress is looking over the memorandum of agreement with Iran. California Republican Congressman Darrell Issa speaking to Fox News.
This is not much different, quite frankly, than any other time that an enemy has been defeated and you negotiate terms of helping them rebuild if, in fact, they do not go back to their previous behavior.
Talks between the U.S. and Iran are expected to begin tomorrow in Geneva. Senator Rick Scott is pushing his colleagues to pass the Save America Act, which would require ID to vote in national elections.
Is it hard? Yeah, it's hard. But guess what? We work for you. The American public wants us to pass the Save America Act.
Florida Republicans speaking to Fox News. Opponents say the act would disenfranchise many voters, and they are not in favor of passing it. America's listening to Fox News.
This is attorney Robert Naumann of Naumann & Associates. Thank you, 560 listeners, for your continual phone calls to request our service in your estate planning matters. To share an example, a couple met with our team about an adult child that will need assistance after they both pass away. We created a trust with provisions that will protect that adult child and the rest of the family for years after they're gone. Give us a call when you're facing special circumstances with adult children. We'd love to help you protect your estate and your family. NALawGroup.com or 847-593-8777.
There's a moment nobody talks about with weight loss. It's the moment it stops working. The diet that worked before doesn't. The workouts don't hit the same. Even eating less stops moving the scale. That's not random. That's just your body protecting itself, because when your body thinks it's under stress, it slows down your metabolism, holds on to fat, and fights you every step of the way. That's why quick fixes eventually fail. Even the popular GLP-1 shots, they suppress appetite, but they don't fix what caused the problem in the first place. Well, at PhD Weight Loss, they focus on restoring your metabolism so your body stops fighting you. That's when real change occurs. Right now, when you call and mention Mike G, you'll get 2 free weeks, and they'll pay for the cost of your food. It's a $1,500 value. Call 864-644-1900. That's 864-644-1900, or go to myphdweightloss.com, because the goal isn't to lose weight once, it's to never have to start all over again. PhD weight loss.
The Stephanie Trussell Show speaks to the heart of where you live, work, and raise your family. Every week, Stephanie brings you the conversations that matter most, from our local neighborhoods to the halls of Springfield, covering the local issues and the real solutions. Stephanie sits down with the local leaders, candidates, and everyday heroes who are fighting to make Illinois a place you're proud to call home. Stephanie is your community, your voice. The Stephanie Trussell Show, heard Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Every morning, students and faculty fill your school's hallways. And every morning, parents trust you to know who's there with them. With ID Supply, that trust is earned and visible. From student and staff ID cards to secure visitor badge systems, ID Supply helps you instantly identify who belongs on campus at a glance, while keeping your entire facility safer. Visitor badges expire automatically, so no one stays longer than they should. And parents, they can feel confident knowing their school has a system in place. Need supplies? We've got you covered. ID card printers, ribbons, and custom lanyards in your school colors. Most orders ship same day. Parents, if your child's school doesn't have a visitor ID system, ask them about ID Supply, because knowing who's on campus shouldn't be a question. Get 10% off your first order with code SCHOOL10. That's SCHOOL10. Visit idsupply.com or call 800-647-5562. Again, that's 800-647-5562. ID Supply. Trusted by schools for over 20 years.
Hello, this is Kevin Coyne, Chairman of the DuPage County GOP, inviting you to join us for our second annual summer kickoff and celebration of America's 250th birthday. Our event will be in Addison at American Tap on June 24th. Doors will open at 6:30 p.m. And we will hear from our new Illinois GOP Chairman, Bob Grogan, State Senator Seth Lewis, and State Representative Jennifer Santilitro. We'll also have a special appearance from former Cubs pitching great Steve Trout. Tickets are $75 and can be purchased in advance at our website, DuPageGOP.com. Paid for by DuPage County Republican Central Committee.
Have you ever wondered, with all the different religions and interpretations of the Bible, how you can be sure that you're on the right path in your spiritual journey? The powerful new book, You and God by Peter Philippi, helps you answer this question and discover how to establish a truly personal relationship with God through biblical understanding and faith. Get your copy of You and God by Peter Philippi today by visiting pbmusa.org. That's pbmusa.org.
Black and Right continues. Once again, here's John Anthony.
Unchain Wall Street. They're going to put you all back in chains.
They already have, and it's called mental change. Glenn from Orlando.
Hey, John, hope you're doing well.
Yes,
sir. Politics UK is announcing that Keir Starmer will officially resign as early as Monday.
Uh-oh.
So he'll be gone next week. Maybe he can put his head on the London Bridge to keep away all the other dumb British politicians like they did in Braveheart, you know?
Yeah. I see Trump and Maloney, whatever her name is, have fallen out too.
Oh yeah. You know, Trump, when she didn't allow Trump to use the bases during the war, that was it.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him.
Yep.
So
yep.
It's too bad because I thought she was up and coming, but when she showed the disloyalty, then that's a deal breaker.
No, I agree with you there. They're supposed to be our allies, and we can't use what? Are you kidding me? As much money and as much trade we do with you guys, and you're gonna say no? Please.
Yeah, I agree. So at least Trump is holding the line, saying, you know, if you're disloyal to the U.S., we're not going to be loyal to you. So it goes both ways. So,
that's true.
You know.
Hey, it was good seeing you at the golf outing, man. I can't believe I'm looking at the check behind me. We raised over we actually raised $82,292 for Tunnels to Tower Foundation at that golf outing. That's pretty cool, isn't it, Glenn?
Yeah, it's cool. It's a lot higher than what it was last year. I think it was 70,000 last year.
Yeah, it was. We had we had a great time. I had a great time out there just mingling with everybody, and it was so good to see so many people who listen to the show. People were coming up, hey, your voice sounds familiar. You're that John Anthony. I said, no, that's not me.
Yeah, you must be thinking of somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Glenn. Appreciate the call, brother.
Care.
All right, Villan. Super.
What's good? Yep, this is Super Racide, and this is the Super Perspective, live from Motown. Now, two subjects I had wanted to talk about. I'm about to finish up my first. I can take on DeLon a little bit later, no problem. Let me say this about my first subject that I was talking about. I'm all about the title, and I'm going to teach this and preach this to billions. It's about Africans in bondage, the title, not necessarily how it happened or when it happened and all of that, but the actual title. Now, let me get to Trump, why he's so shady. Bro, you have a UFC fight, which you are promoting violence, physical violence that happens all over the. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on. Bro, I'm on the phone right now. Sorry about that. Physical. That's one of my relatives. Sorry about that. So you have a UFC fight going on that promotes physical violence all over the nation. When you look at YouTube and all of these McDonald's and Walmarts, what's going on? People attacking people, and then you have your president have a fight going on at the White House. That's shady.
How? No. You can't make this. How is that shady? If they had a boxing match, you would have been okay with a boxing match?
No violence whatsoever.
Why? That's not violence. It's a sport.
Not on the ground.
So what about rugby? What about soccer? What about soccer? That's
anything. Can I finish? Yeah. Anything promoting violence should not be on the White House grounds. If you want to go and watch it anywhere in the United States of America,
but trans showing their boobage is okay then. Did you say anything about that? Did you say that when the trans were showing their boobs on the White House lawn? No. You said what shouldn't be on the White House grounds.
I'm talking about violence right now, bro.
Okay.
Violence.
I see it as a sport, and I love it.
And then the fighter said something about Michelle Obama. He didn't get up immediately and check this guy and put him in his place. Trump is shady. He should have got up immediately.
No, he shouldn't.
How dare you say that about?
And lastly, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
Now, Phil tried to check me because he said, "Why haven't I said nothing?" Well, if he was listening when I filled in for Jeannie Ives, wait, hold on. No one checks me. No one checks me.
I ain't talking about you, bro.
Yeah, no. You said it was his right to check me.
No. I said Trump should have checked.
No, why? Shut down his freedom of speech? Hey, wait, super. Wait. No. Time out. Have you said anything? Have you said anything about the people that have called Melania Trump a prostitute, a hooker, a call girl? Have you said anything in response to these people saying that about her? Have you?
I haven't even heard that.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
talking about what I heard. I'm talking about what I heard at the White House.
Okay.
This man, the president, because if I was the president, I would have stood up immediately.
Nope.
Put that guy, I would put that UFC fighter in his place and said, bro, you better get up and you better get over there.
Why?
And make an apology, or I will shut you down.
So you don't believe in speech?
From the sport.
He has every right to say, listen, I don't agree. Wait, time out. I don't agree with him, but he has every right to say whatever the hell he wants to say.
No, he doesn't.
Listen, how does he? How? Why? Who gets to dictate that?
If you do not understand that this man is out of line, that is perfect.
Listen, I don't shut down speech. Even speech I disagree with, I don't shut it down. You have every right to say whatever the hell you want to say. Now you got to deal with the consequences of what you said. But he had every right to say that. Just like none of these people have come out. These same people that said ignorant stuff about Charlie. We'll be right back.
Stuck in Illinois? Between the taxes, the politics, the weather, it's exhausting. But leaving isn't as simple as packing up and going. That's where leavingil.com comes in. We help you create a smart step-by-step plan so you don't make the wrong move at the wrong time. Start with our quick exit readiness assessment today. Go to leavingil.com. That's leavingil.com. Or call 224-800-6979.
When we were kids on the farm growing up, there was a wheat, Yellow Rocket, but we always slanged it mustard.
Ben and Arvid Huth, brothers and owners of Penny Mustard Furnishings.
Dad didn't want the mustard on the farm.
No.
It was kind of invasive. Dad would just have us pick them. We would go in through the hay fields and we'd walk in the hay fields and we'd pick those fields clean. And he paid us a penny a plant.
Yeah.
Somebody had seen the story about us picking mustard.
One of the people that was submitting names.
One of the people
for
who
the
was submitting
contest.
names for the contest submitted the name Penny Mustard. Actually, 2 people submitted that name.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of crazy names submitted.
Gosh be darn, who's Furniture Barn? I remember that was one submission we had.
When we narrowed it down to 50 names or so, we kind of just looked at it and I'm like, there it is. This is it. It's Penny Mustard.
It was glaringly obvious to us.
See more at pennymustard.com.
In hindsight, I'm not sure if Dad cared about the mustard or he just wanted to keep us busy.
Yeah. In hindsight, I think he wanted to keep us busy.
Smart.
It is that time of year again to save babies by providing ultrasounds with our friends at Preborn. You know how this goes. We've done it every single year at this time. All you have to do is pick up the phone and say, I want to provide a free ultrasound to a girl. Give her the chance to see the truth of what's happening in her body. Every $28 helps do that, saving one baby. $280 can do that, help save 10 babies. More does more. The phone number is 833-850-2229. 833-850-BABY. Join us saving babies with Preborn again this year. We're going to save hundreds of babies, 1 at a time, 2 or 5 or 10 at a time. That phone number again is 833-850-BABY. That's 833-850-2229. Or go online to 560theanswer.com/baby.
Scott Jennings fearlessly fights back against the mainstream media on the Scott Jennings podcast.
The Supreme Court's decision striking down racial gerrymandering. The Supreme Court said enough is enough, and in this ruling, the justices raised the bar. They said if you want to challenge a map as discriminatory, you now have to prove actual intent, not just point to statistical disparities.
Subscribe for free today on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, or SalemPodcastNetwork.com. It's the show the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. It's Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. Yeah, kind of lost it at the end there because to say, listen, I don't have to agree with it. This is my perspective. Michelle Obama is a woman. I've met her. She hugged me twice. Once for the the commissioning of the USS Illinois, and then the second time at the christening of the USS Illinois. I saw a woman. I did not see a man, and I defended that. Then, when I first heard it, now could I be wrong? Who knows? But to say, to sit up there and say a person doesn't have a right to say what they want to say, this is America. We don't have speech police. Well, we do. The left is the speech police. They try to dictate to you what you can say, but then when they go out and do stupid and idiot things like the way they talked about Charlie Kirk when he died, some of the stuff that they said about this man, some of the stuff they're saying about Erica Kirk, I mean, miss me with that. I'm not going to sit back and allow anybody to dictate what people can and cannot say. I believe in the First Amendment. Free speech is free speech, even that which I disagree with. Walter.
Boy, we about to have us some fun. Hey, by the way, let me get a shout out to Super Duper Rooper Rashide. Super Duper Scooper Duper.
He's on the line. He's on the line.
Hey, I'm gonna have some fun with Super Duper Scooper Duper Hooper Rashide, Mr. Black Activist. Why are you stalking my show, buddy? I want to find out how Super Duper Scooper Duper Hooper find out about your show, and also, hey, Super Duper. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna get on the subject about Michelle from Hell Obama. I'll get back with her, and I'm gonna talk about Juneteenth. But let me as a side note, sidebar. Hey, Super Duper Scooper Duper Hooper.
How do you guys? Oh, Walter, you hung up. How do you guys know each other, Super? You and Walter?
I don't know that buffoon.
He said he knows you.
I don't deal with I don't know that mentally ill buffoon. I don't deal with people like that. He's mentally ill. He has problems, bro.
Walter's not mentally ill.
And you listen, and you're entertaining that, man. Get that man some help.
Yeah.
He needs help.
Well, Super. Now, you know. Listen. The one thing about this show that's different from most shows, I bring people on that I disagree with. I don't, and guess what?
And you should.
Do you see how much time you've gotten to speak? You know how many people said, don't take the call? No, I'm going to take the call. Because truthfully, Super, I'm going to tell you to your face, I want to expose your thinking. Because your thinking is flawed. Your thinking is bound.
No, it's not.
It's bound in a historical perspective that's no longer relevant today.
No, that's a lie.
No?
And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Only a small percentage of you Republicans do what you do, because the majority of the Republicans on talk shows are intellectual cowards. They don't want to take the call from Democrats. They don't want to have debates with Democrats.
I do.
Because they're intellectual cowards.
I love it.
Not you.
Yeah.
No, not you. A small percentage of you guys. It's only a small percentage like you, bro.
Yeah.
Now, the rest of them guys that say don't take the call, they're cowards. They're intellectual cowards. They don't want to debate. They don't want to hear what somebody else has got to say and then come to a mutual understanding. Now, let's say this about Melania. What if that fighter was a black guy? He won, and he said it about Melania. Then what?
So?
Huh?
So? Republican. You know, wait. You know what? Wait. Hold on, Walter. Hold on. This is what would happen.
With the $150 million lawsuit Melania Trump is bringing against a British newspaper and an American blogger over salacious claims that she was once a sex worker, claims she denies. NBC's Kelly Kobiella has the story for us.
See, that's what would happen. You do it to a Republican.
But
when it's not truth, when it's a lie.
But John, this is what it always comes back to. It always comes back to identity politics.
Yep.
You see what he just did? He said, "What if it was black?" You soup. What if the fighter was black and said that about Melania? It's always got to be through It's always got. Excuse me. I'm talking. Excuse me.
Go ahead, Villan.
Now, like I said, it's always through the lens of identity. And it'll never stop with these people. Now, what I took from your whole premise, you guys' premise of your conversation, was what's deemed inappropriate and appropriate.
Right.
Either way, I don't care if it's appropriate or not.
Right.
You should have the freedom to say it.
Yep.
Now, you made a great point. It's not appropriate for the kids and the babies and whoever else to Christians to see a transgender showing the boobs on the White House lawn. I didn't like it when Obama had the party at the White House with the little South Korean guy taking his clothes off, jumping around, talking about jungle style. I thought that was stupid. Presidents have parties, and the other side isn't going to like it for whatever reason, and they're going to deem it inappropriate. This guy's stupid, just like Walter was saying, super, whatever, nickname him, whatever you want. He's just ignorant. You know, that's all to it, and it's always going to be some kind of race-based politics. He's not a deep thinker. You know, if you don't even know, he's talking about he read the Bible, but he didn't know about Hebrews were Jews and they were slaves. You know, everybody want to put their spin on it. You know, the people, all races have been slaves. I don't care. The Chinese enslaved their own. Now, they didn't enslave black people, but they enslaved their own. But every race has been a slave at one time or another. That's why I said the formerly enslaved. Yeah. Okay, but we're all free people now, and people need to start claiming country, God and country. Even though I'm not the religious type, I like that better than identity politics. I tell you that, God and country, or just country. You America first. That's my whole perspective of that.
Villan, why you sound so stuffed up, man? You got some sinus issues going on?
Man, it's a bug going around the job, man.
I hate it. That's why you got to take Virago, bro. I'm telling you, Villan, I'm telling you, I have not been sick in months, and normally I'm sick by this time, and I have not been sick. Guys, hold the line. We'll be right back.
I'm Gary Carr, retired homicide detective and the owner of Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian. For 10 years, we've helped more than 20,000 students become safe, responsible, and confident firearm owners. If you're looking to get your Illinois Concealed Carry license or need to renew, now's the perfect time. Our law enforcement-led training gives you the knowledge and skills to protect yourself and your family. Our 16-hour concealed carry class includes live fire training, one-on-one coaching, Illinois and Florida certification for expanded reciprocity, range qualification, and a full-color textbook. We provide the firearm, ammunition, eye and ear protection, targets, and range access. Need a renewal? Our 3-hour renewal class keeps you legal and current on Illinois firearm laws. Thousands of students have trusted us for professional instruction, flexible scheduling, and exceptional value. Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian for classes, less lethal options, and self-defense legal plans. Visit us at concealedcarrychicago.com to reserve your seat today. That's concealedcarrychicago.com, concealedcarrychicago.com.
The first Top Shelf Country Cruise showed out. The bar's set at exceptional. Don't miss the second sailing in March 2027 aboard the luxurious Celebrity Summit, departing from Tampa with stops in Bimini, Key West, and Cozumel. Plus, performances from some of your favorite country artists, including Riley Green, Chris Young, Lauren Elena, and Randy Houser. Our price guarantee locks in your best deal the moment you book. No surprises. Don't settle for anything less than Top Shelf. Reserve your cabin at TopShelfCountryCruise.com.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250, micro, to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony.
Get up, get on up, get up, get on up.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio. Super Walter Villan, hold on. I'm going to bring Robert from Bloomingdale. Robert.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
What's going on, brother?
Oh, not much. This debate. First of all, I want to say I like that caller because he has kitty cats in the background. I heard that.
He had what? He had what?
He had little kitty cats in the background. That was cute. You know, we're pet parents. But anyway, you're talking about Obama and Michelle Obama. How about Joe Biden being left in the lurch? Obama's walking off the stage, air guitaring. Dr. Joe walks off the stage with Obama, and they all walk off. And Biden's standing there staring and looking at the crowd, goes into a dumb microphone that says, "Where's my granddaughter?" Now, there could be an over abuse charge here somewhere. I mean, that's terrible.
Hey, Robert. Wait, why is he not playing? Why is he not playing?
Yeah, here it is.
Look at my granddaughter.
I mean, he's just sitting there with the sun in his took off his shades with the sun in his face. I mean, everybody left him. Everybody just left him on stage. Oh my goodness, that was so embarrassing. Cringe.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, thanks, Robert. I appreciate the call.
Yeah.
All right, Villan, super. Now, everybody, hold on. Everybody, listen to me. I want to talk about this Carmelo Anthony case. As you know, they released a lot of the video. They released the video. I don't understand how anybody can come to a conclusion based upon how far that video was, the shot was under the tent. As investigations lay out, you can't really see anything from that tent. What became important in this case was the eyewitness accounts. That's why the defense rested so quickly, because they understood that the eyewitness and what the eyewitnesses had to say trumps anything. I'm seeing all these people. So my question becomes, how did this become about race? Anybody can stab at it.
What case is this?
The Carmelo Anthony Austin Metcalf race case.
It's easy for people like Soup to make it about race because it's just a black guy and a white guy. And
I never said anything about that, bro.
No, he didn't.
What are you talking about? I ain't saying nothing about that.
I said people like you.
All right, wait, guys, Villan, let's have a civil conversation. Wait, hold on. Wait, listen. I got 3 Michigan people on the phone line right now. That says a lot about what's happening in Michigan and people who are listening to the show up in Michigan. I appreciate everybody that tunes in Michigan. Super. How did this become about race?
Bro, I haven't even looked into that case, but let me say this. I'm going to show my man's what's stupid and what's idiotic. My thing is this, DeLon. For the fighter to be black, he didn't have to be black. If he was white and he said he was a Democrat, now, how stupid and idiotic are you? It's not about me saying he was just black. If he was a Democrat and he was white, you guys would be in an uproar about him calling Melania a man. So, duh. Now, who's stupid? It's not about black and white like that. It's about the scenario of it being a Democrat who could be a black guy or he could be a white guy. But if he was a Democrat and he said it about Melania, you guys would have called for his head. Trump would have automatically got up and said, this guy needs to be thrown in jail. This guy needs to be this, that. He's going to be banned for good if he said it about Melania. So
that's a lot. Number one, John. Let me. Okay, he didn't say. He didn't say.
Wait, hold on, Sue. Hold on, Sue.
He's been saying stupid a few times. Okay, now anybody who okay, well, Walter was the first one to call you stupid, and I'm reaffirming what Walter said. You are stupid. Now, John. Anybody who looks at Melania would never think that she's a man. You look at Michelle Obama, I'm sorry. I'm a healthcare professional. I want to see full frontal. I'm a professional. I want to see it.
You got issues in your tissues. Guys, that's hour 2. I want to say goodbye to my Michigan crowd. We need a third hour in Michigan. Guys, if you're listening to the show, call in at some point. All right? We'll be right back.
The price of gold is surging to new highs. It's already topped $5,000 an ounce. The only question is, how much money will you make when gold hits $6,000 an ounce? Investors like you have made small fortunes off the run-up in precious metals, and not just with gold stocks or ETFs. Many have taken advantage of a little-known gold investment officially released by the U.S. government. Now you can too, when you get our free special report from veteran trader and investor Jim Woods. It's called Gold Wealth Boosters. This new report outlines amazing gold investments that have returned 12 to 26 times more than investing in gold bullion itself. Given the uncertainty in world markets, the investments outlined in Jim Woods' Gold Wealth Boosters report are crucial in 2026, and it's free. To get your free Gold Wealth Boosters report, log on to EagleGoldReport.com. EagleGoldReport.com. That's EagleGoldReport.com.
News, opinion, insight. This is AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago. Streaming at 560theanswer.com on the AM 560 mobile app, or tell your smart speaker to play The Answer.
The Vice President's on his way. I'm Daria Albinger, Fox News. Vice President Vance will soon join the U.S. delegation in Geneva, which is expected to begin talks tomorrow with Iran, which could lead to a peace deal. Fox's Bill Malugin at the White House says much of the focus remains on the Strait of Hormuz.
Conflicting reports as to what exactly is going on in the Strait of Hormuz today. The Iranian military announced they were closing down the strait because of what they say were repeated violations of the ceasefire, but CENTCOM countered that, saying traffic is flowing very smoothly and about 55 ships have already transited the strait today. So in the meantime, President Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, and Jared Kushner, they're on the ground in Switzerland teeing up some of these peace talks we're expecting to see in the coming days. Vice President J.D. Vance saying he does plan to join them in the coming days and that the memorandum of understanding is already having an impact.
One of the things the president has set us out to do as a high priority is to open the straits. That's now happened.
Now, President Trump defending against criticism of that MOU.
The talks were supposed to begin on Friday, but they were postponed because of the fighting between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Before he left, the vice president spoke to Fox News about the FIFA World Cup, which the U.S. is co-hosting along with Canada and Mexico. He says the event is showing the U.S. and the world at their best.
One of the great things about these events is that there is this cultural exchange where we learn a little bit from them, and of course they learn a lot about what makes America so great. I'm so proud to have the World Cup here.
And as for Team USA, it advanced to the knockout round after beating Australia yesterday. At the World Cup today, it was Germany over the Ivory Coast, 1-0. The Netherlands beat Sweden 5-1, and Ecuador meets Curacao tonight in Kansas City. The U.S. takes on Turkey next, but that game's not going to mean anything because the U.S. already knows where they're going to go. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
Tonight, expect the clouds to build up as we head towards the early hours of the morning with a low temperature of 61. As we move into Sunday, the day will bring cloudy skies with a thunderstorm expected in the morning, followed by periods of rain, potentially heavy at times, and another thunderstorm in the afternoon. Keep an eye out for possible flash flooding as the day progresses. The high temperature will reach 71 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
Larry Elder here. For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we were meant to live free. Free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if everyday aches and pains are slowing you down, it might be time to declare your independence from pain. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free, research-based formula designed to help your body fight inflammation, one of the root causes of pain. It's not a quick fix or a temporary mask. It works from the inside out at the source. Relief Factor was created so people could get back to living life on their terms. Walking, working, exercising, and enjoying the moments that matter. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. To commemorate, we're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76, so you can declare your independence from pain and take your control. Your $17.76 3-week quick start is ready for you. Visit ReliefFactor.com, ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-4-RELIEF. That's 800-4-RELIEF.
Fight or flight? In Illinois, you've got both options. You can stay and fight, engage in local races, work to change things. Or you can vote with your feet. At LeavingIL.com, we help you build a smart exit plan so you know where to go, when to go, and how to do it right. Take our quick exit readiness assessment. Go to LeavingIL.com. That's LeavingIL.com. Or call 224-800-6979.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
AM 560, The Answer.
Prepare to have your mind opened. The lies of the mainstream media are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony.
I'm coming in hot. Coming in hot, just like the fajita. I write what I live, my life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
CDC is advising all Americans now to wear a cloth mask.
Before the COVID pandemic, Dr. Fauci, as head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, provided millions in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, work which is now widely viewed as the source of the unintentional lab leak that sparked the pandemic. Now, in support of President Trump's maximum transparency mandate, today, on my final day as Director of National Intelligence, I'm releasing never-before-seen communications and documents that expose exactly how Fauci worked with politicized career leadership in the intelligence community to suppress the truth about his actions, the virus's lab leak origin.
What were his actions, you might ask?
Has not ever and does not now fund gain-of-function research in the Wuhan Institute.
We now know that a bat coronavirus was enhanced in a lab. The National Institutes of Health acknowledged that it funded research of a virus that was studied at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. The experiment unexpectedly, we're told, made a bat coronavirus more contagious than the original naturally occurring
Take
one.
an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans.
Right.
You're saying that's not gain of function?
Yeah, that is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially. You do not know what you are talking about.
They took animal viruses that only occur in animals, and they increased their transmissibility to humans. How you can say that is not gain of function?
It is not. What we're talking about now is the gain of function research in studies that increase predominantly the transmissibility, as well as pathogenesis and alteration of host range of the virus. Nobody is lying here, Senator. It is you. I have to laugh at that. I should be prosecuted.
CDC is advising all Americans now to wear a cloth mask. Why the change now? Because most of us have been walking around, going to the grocery store, not wearing the mask because that was the original recommendation.
Well, we have to make sure we don't forget that the most important thing is to keep this 6-foot physical distance from individuals.
However, you testified recently, and I'm quoting, this 6-foot rule sort of just appeared.
Staying 6 feet away from people.
This 6-foot rule,
staying 6 feet apart,
crippled businesses.
Maintaining 6 feet of distance.
Allowed students to stay at home and not learn.
So important. Maintaining distance of 6 feet or more.
Do you think that a rule that sort of just appeared is substantial justification for the regulations that we saw based on that 6-foot rule?
6 feet apart. The CDC was responsible for those kinds of guidelines, not me. I would recommend doing what the CDC, as I think appropriately and correctly said, staying 6 feet away. It likely jumped species from an animal reservoir into humans and now is spreading among humans. The mutations that it took to get to the point where it is now is totally consistent with a jump of a species from an animal to a human.
Are you calling for the closure of the wet markets?
I think they should shut down those things right away. I mean, it boggles my mind because what we're going through right now is a direct result of that. And you have animals that come out of the wild that are sold at these open, what they call them, wet markets.
Welcome back to Black and Right. I played all those audio because you had one man who had the power, and Joe Biden gave it all to him, to shut down our country. And Biden pardoned this guy. Now, this guy, there was no crime committed. Now, everybody's all flustered and frustrated about the J6ers. But here is a man who did much worse to this country, and yet he's free to walk around, to be. He lied. He lied in Congress, and now Joe Biden and the auto pen, I should say, pardoned this individual. Here's my question to you three. How in the hell does Fauci, Dr. Fauci, how is he able to get away with this? And I'm going to tell you guys, this is personal for me, because when he shut down this country, this is what made my son go to the dark side. And so what he did, what that little short and Irish, what did Sean say, Valon? Short in the pants Irishman?
Short in the pants Irishman.
I don't know if he's Irish or not, but it applies to him. What he did was way worse damage than anybody during that time. Prove me wrong, any one of you.
Oh, no. You're totally on point. I mean, think about all of the suicides, number one. Suicide jumped from 36,000 a year to 72,000 a year, almost doubled. All the businesses that were shattered and ruined and shut down all over the United States who allowed this to happen. The marriages that came to an end, because of social norms. People, once they start staying around each other too much because they lost their jobs, they end up getting divorced because they didn't have the money coming in. They couldn't pay the bills. Oh, man, you could just name one thing after the next. All of the police and the firefighters and the healthcare workers and school teachers who refused to take the jab lost their jobs. They forced you to lose your job, take the jab, or you lose your job, you lose your livelihood, your employment. They totally ran roughshod over every individual in the United States, no matter what creed or color you were. That's the heavy hand of the Democrats. Now, they are self-proclaimed rulers.
Now, Super, these were some comments from people when I posted this to my social media. He was working to create Trump COVID vaccine warp speed. That was done during the Trump presidency. What he was doing, providing this funding for this gain of function research, was done in years in advance. And a lot of people say, well, that's one of the reasons why they were able to come up with a quick vaccine. Somebody says MAGA thinks the vaccine was completely done in 2020. Years of research previously had nothing to do with their ability to create the vaccine. That is not the question. The question is, he tried, y'all heard him. He tried to lay the blame on these wet markets, not him and the funding that he provided. Now, people are saying now, I think it was James Wood, somebody on Twitter said, can we now open up an investigation to HIV and AIDS? Because remember, guess who was in charge of that then? Fauci.
Him.
Fauci.
Yeah.
Fauci.
Hey, John, can I
So
say something?
super. How can anybody defend the actions that Fauci took, not only to shut us down, but then to
John,
lie about what he did?
My conversation is this about that. I want to get into the masks. The masks were absolutely correct, and we should have all had masked up. Now, in the beginning. Now, let me say this, or in the middle or the beginning, whatever. Let me say this. Trump brought it on himself, this mail-in ballot thing, because what did Trump do? Trump said, you don't have to wear masks. So, therefore, mail-in ballots were in play. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, you weren't listening to my show previously while we were doing this, and I lost my youth. Wait, hold on. Wait, time out. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Time out. You know what I'm saying? The masks were irrelevant. They did not work. Masks were in effect. Masks did not work. It's been proven. It has been proven that the mask. Wait, hold on. It has been proven that was a lie. The mask did not work.
To a certain extent, it did work.
John, I'm the only person on this phone that
you
is
are
a healthcare.
True.
That is a healthcare provider. The mask didn't work. The only ones that slowed
They
the
did
spread
work to a
was
certain extent because N95 would not have been worn.
Excuse me. You are not a healthcare professional. You cannot tell me about a field that I've been in for 36 years. Excuse me.
He dropped.
The mask did not work. The only ones that worked that slowed the spread was an N95, the ones that you could barely breathe through. They helped somewhat. But all of the rest of those masks those surgical masks that people walk around in the street with did not work. It was a lie.
Yeah.
And the vaccine didn't work. That was a lie. First they said you could not spread it. You could not even catch it if you took the vaccine. Next thing you know, it was still spreading and jumping to people, still killing people all over the nursing homes and the hospitals. I was there. I don't want to hear anything from some idiot like Soup. He's an imbecile. He's just going to follow the mantra. Whatever they tell him to say, he's going to say it. I lived it. It was up to your body chemistry. The herd immunity, it was the only thing that worked that finally put everybody in a safe space. I don't want to hear from people like Soup. He's a dummy.
Walter?
He's just an idiot.
Walter?
It's about dag nabbit time. Dag blasted. Super duper.
He's gone.
I hope you hope super duper.
Oh,
super
shoot.
duper
I didn't even realize,
listening.
guys, I did not even look at the clock. Dude, when I get so engaged in something, I lose all track of time. So I apologize. Walter, when we come back from break.
You gotta let me finish, man. You gotta let me finish, okay?
Hey, you have my word, brother. You're listening to Black and Right. Give us a call, 312-642-5600. Should Fauci be in jail? We want your take. We'll be right back.
Make sure that you never miss a day of Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft when you subscribe to the Chicago's Morning Answer podcast, presented by Signature Bank. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts or search for Chicago's Morning Answer on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey, if you're living with joint pain, listen up. Is your life filled with I can't raise my arms, I can't climb stairs, I can't kneel down, I can't take a long walk or golf with the guys? Well, today's a new day. Take action. A day to celebrate what you can do. And that's exactly what QC Kinetics patients are doing. Back to enjoying their lives again thanks to the innovative treatments offered at QC Kinetics. I've seen the results and personally recommend Dr. Caravelli and her team. So many of you have been through their life-changing regenerative treatments done right in the office. No missing work, no surgery, no long recovery. The inflammation calms down. I want you to schedule a free consultation. You don't have to live a life of I can't. Have a conversation with my friends at QC Kinetics and tell them I sent you when you do. Their treatments are natural, so don't watch summer pass you by again. Take action today. Schedule an appointment right now. Consultations are free. Call 312-827-6261. Again, that number, 312-827-6261. Call QC Kinetics to be pain-free this summer at 312-827-6261.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
It is that time of year again to save babies by providing ultrasounds with our friends at Preborn. You know how this goes. We've done it every single year at this time. All you have to do is pick up the phone and say, I want to provide a free ultrasound to a girl. Give her the chance to see the truth of what's happening in her body. Every $28 helps do that, saving one baby. $280 can do that, help save 10 babies. More does more. The phone number is 833-850-2229. 833-850-BABY. Join us saving babies with Preborn again this year. We're going to save hundreds of babies, one at a time, 2 or 5 or 10 at a time. That phone number again is 833-850-BABY. That's 833-850-2229. Or go online to 560theanswer.com/baby.
And now, more Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560, The Answer. Let's go to the phone lines. Tom from Sherrville.
Yeah, you're right, John and Verlon. The mask did not work. It was a horrible inconvenience. You go out in public somewhere and you want to wear a mask, go right ahead. Don't tell me I have to do it. It should always be voluntary.
Exactly.
They don't work. I believe they don't work. So let me stick to what I believe based on the research that I've done. It's a waste of time, and you look stupid wearing one of those things walking around in public anyway. If you want to look stupid, go ahead. I don't care. Don't you dare tell me I have to wear it, or I'll put it on you, on the back side, because I'm not wearing it.
Yeah,
I don't know who your guest was that's saying it was working. You tell me to wear a mask? You're gonna run into trouble with me.
Tom, I never wore a mask. The only time I would ever wear a mask if I had some sweet old lady came up to me and said, Sonny, can you please put on the mask for me? That's the only time I ever put on the mask. When I got on airplanes, I had fake masks. I'm not going to lie. I had the breathable one because you couldn't get on an airplane without one. I had the breathable one that you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell it was a fake mask because all they wanted was you to cover your face.
Well, John, you have asthma, don't you?
No, I do not. No.
Okay, I thought you did. It makes it hard to breathe. If you have breathing problems, it just makes it worse.
Yeah, it sets up hypoxia too. This whole thing was, in my opinion, was a trial run for something. The complete control that they took, and I'm so glad that you have people, especially everybody here on this radio station. We all rebelled against it. We were like, "Nope, you are not taking control."
I was asked out of a few businesses. I was told, if you're not going to put it on, sir, you have to leave.
I left.
I said fine, and I left.
Yep, so did I. You had places. There was a restaurant up in Elburn. I forget the name of the place that stayed open. You had my buddy at Brian's American Grill who stayed open, who defied these people. I'm sorry, man. The government, nope, I'm going to defy it. No. You do not have that right. You do not have the right. You don't.
Yeah, it's fine. If you want to wear it, fine, but don't tell me I have to.
And mandate me to get a shot, and I can't do anything? Dude, that is complete no. I'm not going for it. Just not gonna happen.
Well, that was the straw that broke the camel's back when those mandates were put in and people were losing their jobs. I was like, oh no, this is wrong.
Yep, I agree. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate your call, brother. Happy Father's Day.
All right, thank you. You too.
All right, now Walter, I'm sorry. You get the floor.
Hey, brother, I'm back.
You back? Go ahead.
I like what Tom just said. He was having me cracking up about you want to look stupid wearing a mask, wear it. And also, by the way, I like to. I wish I was living in Cherville right now, right next to Maryville, Indiana.
Yeah.
The gas price is about $1 cheaper than ours.
Oh,
I saw it on Gas Buddies, like $2.80 something, maybe $2.79. It keep going down, and that's before the Iranian deal with Trump and the May. That's before.
Yeah. Now they closed the. Now they closed the. They allegedly closed the strait again, because now listen, I'm not a big fan of this deal. I'm not. I personally I wanted Trump to go over there and just let Moab out on him, the mother of all bombs, and just I'm sorry, I do. That's the only thing these people understand. They only understand force. They only understand strength. And if you don't, and I don't know who's being the restraint in Trump's circle right now, but somebody is. You could tell. No, it ain't Marco. I think it's J.D. Vance. You could tell Marco want to let him have it.
No, I didn't say Marco. I said Bible prophecy says. I looked it up this morning. I had to refresh myself. Bible prophecy, Genesis 16:15. People have to look into that. Says that their hands will be against each other, and their hands will be against every other country. That's Bible prophecy. And as a matter of, and when we get to heaven, we got to kick Abraham in the shin. Mess around with Hagar and producing Ishmael. You hear Ishmael preached up in the church. It's called flesh. You're doing things in the flesh and not hearing from God. You got out of God's order. So that's a little Bible-let there. I just had to touch up on it. But let me get to the point of the topics you guys are talking about. Let me get on the topics that you guys are talking about.
Yeah, because Verlon and Super were what is it called? Filibustering.
Super duper hooper duper scooper. I hope he's listening. I know him very well from.
He dropped.
Detroit
I don't know what happened.
There was a Detroit station, and Super Duper's listening right now. That station banned me several times for coming on there challenging the black communists that ran that station. Super Duper used to call in. Super Duper has no credibility. I love him to death. He's a nice guy and all that. He's kind of like an entertainer. But I would call there, and Super Duper, he never threatened me like some of the other blacks that used to call there.
Yeah.
He just called me a name every now and then. So I got a suggestion for Super Duper.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Super Duper, you need to join up. If you're still in Detroit, everybody, you need to join up with Mary Sheffield, who stole the election. Don't shout me down on that one, buddy. Mary Sheffield and her crooked father, Horst Sheffield, the fake pastor. That's right, I said it. Hey, Super, know what I'm talking about. You need to get out there and quit calling these conservative shows harassing us. Hunting us down.
He was on Larry Elder's a couple of weeks ago.
I know. He's making his rounds, man. He's trying to get some attention. Super Duper, hear me out on this. I know how you can get busy since you got all this time on your hands. You go join Mary Sheffield them and Sam Skittle Diddle Riddle Fiddle Battle Fiddle, in Detroit, and go around and volunteer and clean up some of them raggedy lots and tear down some of them raggedy houses. That'll keep you busy. You won't be calling John Anthony Show and the conservative show stalking us. All right, now that I'm finished with that one.
and John, real quick. I heard what you said earlier to your guest. Listen, next time you talk to Larry, tell him, I know he's getting a little older, but it's never too late to learn. It's not 72,
I sent
75% fathers out of the home. It is 45 to 47.5 fathers out of the home. And most of that 47.5 out of the home are highly involved in their kids' lives. I understand that doesn't meet his standard, but it is what it is. Fathers are back trying to take care of their kids, and over 50% are taking care of their kids and are in the home. If they're not married, so be it, but they're there. They're not abandoning their kids. So the next time you talk to Larry, tell him that. And he didn't want to hear that.
Wait, Valon, you called into his show about a month or so ago, right? Oh, 2 months ago.
It's been about 3 months.
Okay,
I called
I
twice.
sent him your picture. He says, "Yeah, I know that clown."
yeah. He met me at Freedom Summit and all that. But he's under that mindset where though if I'm not all the way on your side, I'm against you. I don't have to be 100% on your side to be a Republican or a conservative. The Republicans right now in Congress are showing you they don't agree on everything. There's some things that you might hate some of them.
Yeah,
for,
but they're cowardly though. They're not doing it out of principle. They're just cowards. They don't want to lose their seats.
Well, some of them are like Rand Paul. He does everything out of principle. He doesn't cater to any lobbyists.
Yeah.
So it is a few that do. But the bottom line is Republicans don't agree on everything, and you don't have to try to besmirch me because I don't agree with you on every issue.
Wait, Vlon, let me take this call real quick. David from Lansing. Hey, David.
Hey, John. Coming in medium, like the percentage of the American public that is aware of the scam of the pandemic and the resulting GMO vaccine.
Yep. I agree.
I'm glad you covered this.
Yes,
yeah,
I agree.
And Fauci, where's Fauci? It's like, where's Waldo? He disappears all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You know, and then what pisses me off about this whole thing is the percentage of the American public. What percentage? What's your opinion? I have an opinion on this. What percentage of the American public, as I watch Moderna stock go up to new one-year highs, mRNA, that's one of the companies that cooked up this vax that made, what gets me is people on the left, they're into nutrition and everything, and they buy non-GMO, but they loved turning themselves into a genetically modified organism by taking that vax.
Yep.
It's like opposite thinking. So what percentage of the American public do you think is onto the scam of the vax, the genetic modified, at this point?
I don't think the Trump administration has done enough with RFK Jr. to really talk about this in a way to show just how many people are affected by this. I can't wait. I guarantee you, within 10 years, we're gonna have somebody who does it and figure out just how many people were negatively affected by that jab. And
I agree.
Wait, I got agree. Mark. Wait, hold on. Did you get that Mark Zuckerberg clip? Do we have that clip, Paul? I don't know where Paul. Did we have that Mark Zuckerberg clip that I sent you? Did we put it? Okay, I gotta find it and send it to you. David, we gotta go to break, but I agree. That's a great question.
Trump is too much for the. He did not come out against the vax fully. He said you can take it if you want. That was his best.
Yeah, but he didn't mandate it. Agree. He didn't mandate it.
Right.
That's the great thing.
The only good thing.
Thanks, David. Hold on, guys. We gotta go to break. Hold on, we gotta go to break. We'll be right back.
Don't put your blame on me.
Make sure that you never miss a day of Sean Thompson when you subscribe to the Sean Thompson Show podcast, presented by the Alpha Wealth Group. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts, or search for The Sean Thompson Show on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Fox News, I'm Roger Stern. Vice President J.D. Vance is on his way to Switzerland for talks with Iran, but there may be stumbling blocks. Israel has been fighting with Hezbollah in Lebanon, and Iran says it has reacted.
Today, the Iranian military announced that they were closing the Strait of Hormuz, but CENTCOM quickly pushed back against that, saying that the traffic has been smooth today.
Fox's Bill Malugin, another possible stumbling block. It's not clear, as we say, if Iran has reclosed the Strait of Hormuz. Early voting underway today in the New York primaries, and the city's leaders trying to push Democrats in a clear direction.
Democratic Socialist Mayor Zohran Mamdani says the Democratic Party needs to change and get a backbone, and he means electing more Democrats further to the left and more socialists.
Fox's Brian Yanis. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm Gary Carr, retired homicide detective and the owner of Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian. For 10 years, we've helped more than 20,000 students become safe, responsible, and confident firearm owners. If you're looking to get your Illinois Concealed Carry license or need to renew, now's the perfect time. Our law enforcement-led training gives you the knowledge and skills to protect yourself and your family. Our 16-hour concealed carry class includes live fire training, one-on-one coaching, Illinois and Florida certification for expanded reciprocity, range qualification, and a full-color textbook. We provide the firearm, ammunition, eye and ear protection, targets, and range access. Need a renewal? Our 3-hour renewal class keeps you legal and current on Illinois firearm laws. Thousands of students have trusted us for professional instruction, flexible scheduling, and exceptional value. Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian for classes, less lethal options, and self-defense legal plans. Visit us at concealedcarrychicago.com to reserve your seat today. That's concealedcarrychicago.com, concealedcarrychicago.com.
Fight or flight? In Illinois, you've got both options. You can stay and fight, engage in local races, work to change things. Or you can vote with your feet. At leavingil.com, we help you build a smart exit plan so you know where to go, when to go, and how to do it right. Take our quick exit readiness assessment. Go to leavingil.com. That's leavingil.com. Or call 224-800-6979.
RedState.com captures the pulse of grassroots conservatism. Red State staff of contributors are on top of breaking news with stories and analysis that challenge the established agenda. RedState.com educates, motivates, and activates passionate conservatives across America, arming them with the facts that put them ahead of the political curve. No wonder RedState.com is a must-read for elected officials and for citizens who want to make their vote count. RedState.com is the place where influence meets action. Log on to redstate.com today.
Larry Elder here. For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we were meant to live free. Free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if everyday aches and pains are slowing you down, it might be time to declare your independence from pain. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free, research-based formula designed to help your body fight inflammation, one of the root causes of pain. It's not a quick fix or a temporary mask. It works from the inside out at the source. Relief Factor was created so people could get back to living life on their terms. Walking, working, exercising, and enjoying the moments that matter. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. To commemorate, we're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76, so you can declare your independence from pain and take your control. Your $17.76 3-week quick start is ready for you. Visit ReliefFactor.com, ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-4-RELIEF. That's 800-4-RELIEF.
If you've saved $100,000 or more for retirement, call Steve Shyman today at 833-945-7283. That's 833-WILL-SAVE, 833-WILL-SAVE. Schedule your no-cost, no-obligation retirement review and make sure your plan is built to protect what you've worked so hard to earn. And don't forget to listen to Steve's show, Protecting Your Assets, Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. right here on AM 560. Call now, 833-945-7283.
Your kitchen's outdated. Your bathroom feels cramped. Every day you wait, prices go up. And you keep living in a space that doesn't work. At Forever Remodeling, one team handles everything. Design, planning, and installation, start to finish. We show you your new space in 3D before we ever break ground. No surprises. With flexible financing options, the home you want is closer than you think. Visit foreverremodeling.com. That's the number 4everremodeling.com to schedule your personalized in-home design consultation.
Black and Right continues. Once again, here's John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. Valon, and I want you guys to hear this. Now, Valon, you know I was literally one strike away. I was in red status on Facebook because of not only George Floyd, my opposition to saying that George Floyd was not killed by Chauvin, or Derek what's his name? Derek Chauvin? Chauvin. Derek Chauvin. And because I also was going against what Facebook was saying about.
I'll be done after we get through office here.
Hold on, Walter. And how Zuckerberg was basically coming after everybody that talked about the jab. Well, but lo and behold, look at what James O'Keefe from O'Keefe Media Group was able to get from somebody. I don't know who Zuckerberg was on this Zoom call with, but check this out. During the height of when he was blocking everybody, removing people's Facebook page. Listen to this.
We just don't know the long-term side effects of basically modifying people's DNA and RNA.
DNA is inherent in your own nucleus cell.
We just don't know the long-term side effects of basically modifying people.
Last week, Facebook announced they are, quote, expanding their efforts to remove false claims on Facebook and Instagram about COVID-19 vaccines. Let's take a look at Facebook's most updated COVID-19 vaccine policy. The real kicker is right here in the policy where Facebook says it would remove any content that, quote, claims the COVID-19 vaccine changes people's DNA. Well, we just got a new leaked tape from Zuckerberg himself, the CEO of Facebook, basically violating his own code of conduct. He would be censored on the platform today for what he said.
I share some caution on this because we just don't know the long-term side effects of basically modifying people's DNA and RNA.
So when Zuckerberg said...
So he basically, during that time, shut us all down. I was one strike away from losing my black and white Facebook page forever. Talk about sheer hypocrisy. Why do we allow this to continue? Anybody?
So it is his fault, but he bowed to the pressures of government. Go ahead, Walter.
Yeah, we have. It's amazing how we're short-sighted, how we forget how things were done to us during the COVID pandemic. They call it pandemic. I call it the pan-democrat. and I'll tell you what, Verlon is very articulate. The more I listen to Verlon, he's very articulate. And I didn't know you were into healthcare. And so you know about them snotty handkerchiefs that we had to wear, about forced. That's what I call them, forced. And you know, it got so crazy with those snotty handkerchiefs that we were buying some with logos on them, and it became a fashion statement after a while. People were complimenting you about your snotty handkerchief on your nose and mouth.
Absolutely.
And even though half of us wore even though most of us, like me, wore that handkerchief below my nose because I couldn't breathe. We have forgotten that Obama, we just call Obama Nation Obama. Remember his birthday party? I'm gonna let you know this proof. You ain't gonna have clinically talking, or as far as from Verlon's point of view, you have to bring out the truths about that scam mask. When we call those dirty Democrats, Obama included, Gavin Newsom included, our governor, wretched
Pritzker.
I don't care how fine Verlon says she is. They caught that stinking witch, that dirty witch, in that restaurant with about, they had that table, about 12 people or more in the restaurant without their mask on. They caught Gavin Newsom without his mask on.
Nancy Pelosi getting her hair done.
They were just traveling. These Democrats was going places with no mask on. It's proof right there. It never worked. And I got a real personal experience why it don't work. Because when I would go to Walmart, the mask. There was a person from Walmart, one of the workers, was talking to him. I was real close to him early in the morning. Mm-hmm. Their bad breath was coming through that mask. The breath of death. It smelled like a dead person. I thought somebody had dropped dead up in there. It was coming from her mouth. A young 20-year-old. And this is another proof that my supervisor on my job smelled my gum through my mask. And guess what? You can smell people breaking wind through your mask, farting. And that proof right. And Joe Biden, remember Joe Biden with that red pits of hell background when he had those Marines standing behind him? Remember he was threatening Americans, talking about, yo, my patience is running low. You know what he's talking about? Yeah. The mask deniers, the COVID scamdemic deniers. He was threatening the whole country, and he's one of the biggest, dirtiest liars that's ever run along with that stuff. And he knew it was a lie. And he said, if you get the vaccine, this is Joe Biden and the Democrats all across the country. He said, you get the vaccine, you will never, ever get COVID again. Yeah. So my patience is running out with you Americans. Yeah. He should have been ran out of office then. And it was, look, this is the bottom line about the COVID-19 pan-Democrat. That is like, John, you just said it was like a dry run to something they were trying to do. And we fell for it. Our churches fell for it. Mm-hmm. Men of power to our churches. They didn't have that much faith. They were still wearing masks inside of their church. Their prayers were in vain. They was religious but lost. But listen, it was an overthrow of Donald Trump. It was used to overthrow a president that was up for re-election, and it worked with the mail-in votes. I don't care what
super duper, scuba duper, super say. It was mail-in votes that stole that election with other things.
That's true.
I can talk all day about the pandemic.
Walterisms. We'll be right back.
Estate planning lawyer and CPA Bob Carlson has been called America's #1 retirement expert. Tens of thousands of American retirees trust his advice. But his latest bombshell sounds almost too good to be true. It's a way to boost Social Security income and collect more on every Social Security check and create a lifetime monthly income stream 100% tax-free. So today, Bob has made it his mission to give retirees and future retirees the full story in a free report. Log on now to retirementwatchreport.com to get yours. This retirement strategy is fully approved by the IRS, even though less than 1% of Americans know enough to use it. Nobel Prize-winning economist and MIT professor Robert Merton predicts this strategy will become one of the key ways to fund retirement in the future. Log on to retirementwatchreport.com to get your free report. That's retirementwatchreport.com. retirementwatchreport.com.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Larry Elder here. These words weren't written for history books. They were written for you. But it's hard to pursue happiness when pain is part of everyday life. Relief Factor was created to help people address inflammation, one of the most common causes of ongoing aches and pains from aging, overexertion, and just good old daily living. It's a 100% drug-free, research-based formula that works through multiple metabolic pathways to support comfort and mobility. No prescription, no masking symptoms, just real relief so you can keep moving forward. I take Relief Factor every single day, have done so for years. I don't want my pain to come back. As America celebrates 250 years of independence, give yourself the chance to reclaim yours. To commemorate, we're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76, so you can pursue your happiness being pain-free. Your $17.76 3-week quick start is ready for you. Relief Factor, because freedom just feels better without pain. Visit ReliefFactor.com, that's ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-4-RELIEF, 800-4-RELIEF.
Hi, I'm Ken Mariotti, owner of Woodland Windows and Doors, a third-generation family-owned business since 1969. We know you're bombarded by choices when shopping for new windows or doors, so we're inviting you to experience the Woodland difference. For decades, we have been transforming living spaces with Marvin Windows, a fifth-generation family business. Marvin replacement windows have been known to increase the warmth of your cold rooms by 10 degrees. Think about that, 10 degrees warmer. When you welcome Woodland into your home, you will get a product expert to transform your living spaces, full-time, dedicated professional installers that you can trust in your home, along with the best products like Marvin. These are the reasons we're proud of our 5-star reviews and family legacy. No gimmicks, no pressure, and upfront pricing are why Woodland Windows and Doors is your trusted window and door expert in Chicagoland. Visit woodlandwindows.com to book your free in-home expert consultation. That's woodlandwindows.com, or stop by our showroom at the corner of Lake and Geary in Roselle.
It's the show the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. It's Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. Let's go back to the phone lines. Chris from Wisconsin, welcome to Black and Right.
Oh, hey, thanks for taking my call, Jonathan.
Hey, no problem, brother.
All right.
What's happening?
So, no, I was thinking as far as Kash Patel goes, honestly. What's that screaming?
Walter, is that you?
No, I keep hearing a bunch
of babies. Is that Valon? That's Valon. Oh, Valon must be at work.
I'm sorry, my cats are fighting.
Yeah, that's Valon at work.
No,
I'm at home. My cats are
start over. Should I call you back?
No, go ahead. Valon, put your phone on mute. Put your phone on mute.
There's a bunch of babies crying.
Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, I hope he's not being racist over there. No, I'm kidding. You know, I don't know. You guys are crazy anyway. No,
yes, we are.
The truth, though. No. I know you are. Kash Patel. Honestly, I'm thinking maybe he's kind of going in the shadows because his back's been up against the wall lately because of what Biden put the country through. And he's like, holy shit, even the FBI is up against, he's up against the FBI where they got other people on the other side on the inside, if I will. You know what I'm saying? Maybe those guys are part of the mob that's slowly taking over this country.
Well, I will say this. They did do this.
The Trump administration coming to the rescue of unaccompanied migrant children abandoned, abused, and exploited after they were trafficked across the southern border under President Biden. The Department of Homeland Security revealing it has located about 146,000 minors so far, most of them in sanctuary cities. And Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche wants to crack down on the human smugglers who brought many of them here. Fox News Sunday anchor Shannon Bream with us now. Good to see you,
Think
Shannon.
about that. 146,000 trafficked children found that were smuggled in under the Biden administration. How does that happen in a country like America? Thank you, Chris. Valon, Walter, how does that happen in a country like America?
People turn a blind eye. People turn a blind eye to it. I mean, it's not high on their list. We see that now when it comes to the Epstein files and when it comes to the illegal aliens coming over here with unaccompanied minors, and they just ship them to any which home just to house them. We see it throughout society. It's part of every culture, just not American culture.
Okay.
But guess who Maurice? You know, Maurice. I don't think Maurice has ever called into the show. I don't know, because there's a Maurice from Berwyn. I wonder if it's the same Maurice. But he calls Greg Abbott the what does he call him? He calls him something, the deporter in chief or something, trafficker in chief, because he says.
But he lets Biden off the hook.
Yeah,
he lets Kamala and Biden off. See, that's the mentality right there. They want them over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They want all the illegals over here. By any cost, by any means necessary. So it's terrible.
That's right.
Yeah.
Guess what? Can I say this real quick?
Go ahead.
You triggered my memory, Verlon, and you, Anthony. You remember not only the raping of kids by the Democrat Party being the ringleaders of that crime, because they don't care nothing about kids, because they abort, they don't mind babies dying every day from abortion, so they're a bunch of hypocrites, right? And when it gets to life, the Democrats are a death party, the party of death, the party of the devil,
of grievance.
The party that was birthed out of the pits of hell. Ain't nothing good about them to this very day. But look, we forgot about something else that happened through that COVID scam pan-Democrat.
What's that?
They were flying these illegals, their new Negro voters into the country without masks on.
Yep.
They didn't have no masks
and didn't have to get the vaccine.
Illegals. They didn't have to get no vaccines, but they're trying to force us to get it because they wanted to use in mail-in votes. And you remember, we forgot a lot of stuff. They had us lining up outside of stores just to get in.
With arrows. With arrows.
Yeah, with arrows.
Hey, Valon. Hey, Walter, guess who's on the line?
Uh-oh.
Sir, you may speak, sir.
I didn't know if I could call in or not. I wasn't sure how to.
Oh, what's up, Dennis?
Yeah.
How are you guys?
What's up, brother?
Everybody's been very testy. I've come in and out. Everybody's just arguing, John. You know, this reminded me of the summer of love when you didn't have to wear a mask to protest, right?
True.
Doctors actually said it was that if you went out and social justice warriored yourself, you didn't have to wear a mask.
That's true. That's true.
That's a good one. It's just amazing what people could come up with at that time. And I remember getting yelled at Mariano's. My wife and I went down the wrong way with the arrows, and you guys were talking about that. It just talks about how nonsensical that this stuff is. And then I'm still wondering if you are pardoned before you are charged. I still wonder if that holds true.
Dennis, what the heck? Come on.
Well, they knew what was coming because they knew what was out there. So, you know, if they just lied and lied and lied, and they thought that they would have won this time with Kamala. So,
yeah. Well, Dennis, I'm glad you called because I think Brandon Tatum has given up on Candace Owens, and here's the reason why.
You're either stupid, evil, or both. If you think, after watching Charlie Kirk's assassination, that a lapel mic killed him. Let me show you what the lapel mic that Charlie Kirk had on his person was. We use the same stuff. It has a magnetic clip on the back. Charlie had it on his shirt, which was here or here. Therefore, if it's on his shirt here and not clipped here, it's held together with a magnet. If you are stupid enough to think that this killed Charlie by doing this, It explodes, and the bullet comes
He's
around
putting
here,
around
it goes right here. What munition could have came out of this thing? You think it's a 223?
30-aught?
Standard 223. Allegedly, it was a 30-06, which is massively bigger than this. This won't fit in this box here. It's heavy. You think Charlie Kirk would have got a mic and been like, yeah, put a mic on me. And the magnet is going to hold it together with gunpowder and munition in it. And if the thing blew up, you will see a big hole in Charlie's shirt.
Which you didn't see.
Because of whatever explosive powder came out of it. You will see shrapnel hit Charlie in the face. And there's no way that some projectile that's flat on your chest like this is going to somehow travel out and around and hit you in the neck over here. Impossible. And also, if this exploded from somebody's chest, everybody standing next to Charlie Kirk would have been like, everybody in the shooting turned and looked.
You know, I just find that people who've never had to do these type of investigations are coming up with all of these theories. Now, listen, I'm sorry, though. If something happened to me, I would want a Candace Owens on my side. But I wouldn't want her to do it out in the public. What she should have done, she should have did all of her investigations behind the scenes. And then when she had conclusive evidence, not theories, not something that she's pulling out of her butt, and all these people that are doing it. If you've never investigated a crime scene, then you've been on crime scenes. Shouldn't you probably shut up?
Well, right. And the investigation never just stops there, because then you go to the coroner's office and you look at the bodies as I have and you have, and then you continue to wait for all kinds of other experts to weigh in. But no, in today's world, all you need to do is have a theory and a platform, and you can go live on any platform and start talking about it. And you'll find 25% of the people believe automatically because they believe the source. And that becomes pretty dangerous. I mean, you want people that have measured and reviewed and discussed an idea before you just throw it out there.
That's so true.
Like crap on the wall.
All right, guys, closing arguments coming up. We'll be right back.
Our founders believed that freedom wasn't just a word, it was a way of life. Larry Elder here. The freedom to move forward, the freedom to pursue what matters most, the freedom to live fully. But pain has a way of taking those freedoms away. That's why Relief Factor exists. I've been taking Relief Factor for a number of years, and I do not miss a day without taking it. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free, research-based supplement designed to help support a healthy inflammatory response, addressing pain at its source, not just covering it up. Over 1 million Americans have tried Relief Factor, and about 2/3 go on to order more. So this year, as we celebrate 250 years of freedom, ask yourself a simple question. Are you living with the freedom you deserve? Relief Factor gives you the opportunity to live pain-free and get back to the life you love. To commemorate our country's birth, we're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76. So you can celebrate your freedom from pain. Your $17.76 3-week quick start is ready for you. Visit ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-4-RELIEF, 800-4-RELIEF.
You need a construction company, but who?
Call Croscom.
A construction company you can trust that shares your Christian and conservative values. For decades, Croscom has been doing work in Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana, and Wisconsin. Roofs, siding, windows, doors, gutters, basically everything for your home or business, even solar. Quality work and professional services that make you feel great about your decision to work with Croscom.
Call Croscom.
630-871-5500. Give them a chance to earn your business. If your repairs are due to storm, fire, or flood damage, you need to
call Croscom.
They're licensed public adjusters. They work for you, not the insurance company. Croscom will work to get you the money you deserve, the maximum payout. They know the insurance companies and how to deal with them. They win for you.
Call Croscom.
Croscom Construction and Public Adjusters.
This is Dan Lights with Croscom. You can trust us with your home or business for high quality work and fair prices. It's the only way we do business.
630-871-5500. CroscomPublicAdjusters.com.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony.
The first hero we pay tribute to today is one of the finest warriors to ever wear the uniform of the United States Marines, Major James Capers Jr., sitting right here. Thank you, James. In Vietnam, the Corps promoted him from staff sergeant directly to second lieutenant, unusual, making Jim the first black Marine in history to receive a battlefield commission in the middle of a war. In 1967, deep in the jungles of Vietnam, Jim and his 9-man force recon team known as Team Broad-Minded attempted to locate a suspected enemy base camp near the village of Phlu Lac. Over the course of 4 days under Jim's leadership, Team Broad-Minded repulsed brutal attacks, as brutal as they've ever seen, cleared trails of bloody traps, and killed more than 200 of the enemy. The enemy was going down quickly.
Man, you guys got to go finish listening to that story of President Trump awarding him the Presidential Medal of Valor, I believe, was the award he got. That guy, he was old. Trump had to hold him up, and he had to get help to go up on the stage to receive it. But I thought he was, the racist in chief. Dennis Verline, happy Father's Day, guys.
Thank you, brother. Happy Father's Day to you, brothers, too.
Yeah.
Same to you, my friend.
Yeah, Dennis, you could be in here, but you probably got your feet up and drinking a cold one, aren't you?
I have a nice Miller Lite here. I'm relaxing and going to enjoy the longest day of the year. I believe today is the longest day. And I'm going to throw a shout out to Tom from Blue Island, who's working on my house right now.
Awesome. Piper Roofing.
To him.
Piper Roofing. That's my guy. Yeah, real quick.
John, I want to talk to you about the most pressing issue confronting our country right now. I think that the American people deserve to know. I want to know if the Obamas have been deceiving us for 17 and a half years. I demand full frontal. I want to see it.
No,
I want
stop
to see.
All right, guys, happy Father's Day to you all, to my YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook crowd. Thanks so much for joining us every week. We won't be here next week. Is next week or the following week? The following week, right? It's the 4th of July, so... we will be here next week, but the following week we won't be here. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Go out and get the book, Letters to John Boy, please, and thank you. We'll see you next week.
Larry Elder here. For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea,